Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. It's the 2004 season opener between the Auburn Tigers and the University of Louisiana Monroe Indians. With former Auburn center Cole Kublik, I'm Andy Bertram. Welcome into the 2004 season. Cole, I know it's been a long time for the fans. I know it's been a long time for the players as well. You've played in season openers before. It must feel good to get out and hit somebody in another color jersey.
Oh, without a doubt. And there's a lot of excitement surrounding not only the players, but this team in particular. A little bit of a different opponent than last season. This is a chance to take all the running, all the lifting, all the hard, hot practice days, come out here in front of the fans, put on a good performance.
Of course, a year ago, perhaps a season of disappointment. High expectations, those certainly weren't met last year. This season, I think folks are waiting back. They're waiting to see what this Auburn team is going to be all about.
I think they're going to sit back and have a little more patience, let the team come out and prove what they can do, give them a little more leeway. Last year, obviously, the national championship publications, cover of publications, maybe a little too much hype. From what I hear from the inside guys, these guys aren't really buying into that, though. Obviously, there's some talk with Carnell and some of the other guys for some postseason awards. These guys are more concerned with the team and more concerned with wins.
Auburn handled Louisiana Monroe easily a year ago, but Louisiana Monroe didn't have its starting quarterback. Stephen Giles did not make the trip to the Plains. There was a death in the family. This guy brings a great deal of talent and versatility in for Louisiana Monroe.
He does. He threw for over 2,000 yards last season, and with the new offensive coordinator, it gives you that other element of not really knowing what to expect. With the guy that can make plays, that has to make you a little bit nervous.
Louisiana Monroe isn't the only team with a new offensive coordinator. Of course, Al Borges in is Auburn's new offensive coordinator. And for Auburn quarterback Jason Campbell, his fourth coordinator in 4 years. This is a fifth-year senior. He's already graduated. It's his time to shine, Cole.
This is his team. He's the senior. Obviously, everyone talks about Carnell Williams and Ronnie Brown. A lot of excitement getting those two guys on the field at the same time. That's going to be very positive for Jason Campbell. Give him an extra outlet to get rid of the football. But if Jason Campbell can get the time and the protection he needs from his offensive line, I see him having a lot of success.
Auburn and Louisiana Monroe, glad you've joined us this afternoon. We'll be back with the first quarter play-by-play right after this on CSS and the Auburn Network. With former Auburn center Cole Kublik, I'm Andy Bertram at Jordan Hare Stadium as the Tigers about to make their entrance in the 2004 season. And always a great deal of excitement coming into any season. It's a blank slate, so to speak. Cole Kublik, last year, the expectations were very, very high, and Auburn did not meet those expectations. This year, the expectations a little bit lower. Let's face it, Auburn traditionally is a better underdog than it is a team that's favored, isn't it?
Well, especially under Coach Tommy Tuberville. He, a lot of times, is referred to as the riverboat gambler, likes to take chances. He's the kind of guy that likes to go into a situation where no one gives him credit, no one thinks he can pull it out and then go get a victory. He's going to kind of backdoor you. He's going to find little ways to beat you. And if there's any indication of how disappointed people were from last season, it's the turnout here at Jordan Hare Stadium. I had no idea the crowd was expected to be this large. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of folks that thought that the crowd wouldn't be very large because of Louisiana Monroe, and certainly no disrespect there, but you see that Auburn has dominated this series overall. Of course, winning last year 73-7 in a game in which Louisiana Monroe's quarterback Stephen Giles did not play. As a matter of fact, as you might guess, Louisiana Monroe has struggled with teams in the Southeastern Conference, but it is a very big crowd on hand for this afternoon's ball game. As you take a look at the Indians of Louisiana Monroe about to head out, Charlie Weatherby in his second season at Louisiana Monroe. A completely new staff there as far as his assistant coaches. Both coordinators are concerned. The former Navy coach, former Navy tailback, as a matter of fact, trying to rebuild things at Louisiana Monroe. He's got two very good ones in the backfield, in Giles at quarterback and Kevin Payne, the tailback. Those are two guys Auburn has to watch out for this afternoon.
Well, without a doubt, and we talked about Giles' playmaking ability. They also bring back their top three leading receivers from last season. So these guys come in having the ability to make plays, and Auburn coaches have to be semi-concerned with the somewhat failure that the secondary suffered last season.
Just take a look at all of the new coaches that were on the sidelines and that will be on the sidelines and in the press box today with Louisiana Monroe. So some new faces. There's currently some new faces. You look, Todd Berry, the offensive coordinator, Junior Smith, Steve Farmer, Greg Jackson, Danilo Robinson, all brand new assistants after just one season under Charlie Weatherby at the University of Louisiana Monroe. So a new staff over there, and it makes it a little bit tougher for Auburn to scout Louisiana Monroe because both coordinators are brand new. You don't know exactly what you're going to see.
You know, you don't. And from what they saw last season, this defense was very elementary. It was very predictable. That they will show their blitzes. They're not afraid to show you what they're going to do. Basically, they're just going to try to outnumber you and try to get you in bad situations and have maybe the quarterback make a bad throw or the running back go the wrong way. But Auburn, with the fifth-year senior and Jason Campbell at quarterback, I think they should be fine able to handle this defense.
Well, and Louisiana Monroe in somewhat a similar situation with Al Borges now as Auburn's new offensive coordinator. They don't know exactly what to look at, although they certainly know of his tradition and his reputation in the West Coast offense.
Without a doubt. They'll take a look at film from UCLA and other places that Al Borges has been. But this is definitely a good situation for Auburn to be in. They come in with this new West Coast offense. Obviously, they're going to be able to put two All-American type tailbacks in the backfield at the same time. My one concern, Andy, is the receiving core. I think this is a group that's really going to have to step up and help aid Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell needs a little help. Last year, they suffered in the protection outlet. They have the running game. The offensive line seems to be in place. But these guys are going to have to step up, in my opinion, and really go out and make some plays.
You say that Louisiana Monroe only had 2 wins, all-time history, against Southeastern Conference opponents. Charles Estes drops deep to receive. He's a school record holder for Louisiana Monroe, averaging over 27 yards of return. Philip Yost will kick it off for Auburn, and the 2004 season is underway. And from the 13-yard line, Joe Merritt, and taken down immediately was Merritt on the play by Auburn's number 3, Tony Bell, a backup defensive back. We'll see him in the action here this afternoon. So good coverage by Auburn as you look at the offensive linemen up front for Louisiana Monroe. Hampton Joseph, Wadsworth Wade, and Cunningham at right tackle. Payne the tailback, 4th best freshman in the country a year ago. Trappy at tight end. Druzon Quillen, Merritt, and Estes, a good wide receiving core for Louisiana Monroe. And the quarterback, of course, is junior Stephen Giles. He's out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Glen Oaks High School. As he sends a man in motion and fakes a handoff, and up the middle it goes to Kevin Payne. The tackle made by Travis Williams for Auburn as we look at the defense up front. Lots expected out of Stanley McGlover at defensive end. T.J. Jackson, Jay Ratliff, Brett Edens, veterans back for Auburn. Travis Williams in the middle, and Taurus Williams and Kevin Sears on the outside. Kevin Hobbs getting the start in the place of Monte Pitts, a cornerback, junior Rose Green, Will Herring, Carlos Rogers. If you take a look at Auburn's front 4, a gain of 2 on the play, and Giles will work out of the shotgun. Handoff again. And Payne forward, close to the first down, and Taurus Williams out of Columbia, South Carolina, making the stop for Auburn. And this will be close to the first down. It is indeed a first down.
Yeah, Andy, this is one thing Louisiana Monroe is going to try to do to this young, inexperienced Auburn defense. They're going to throw a lot of formations. You can see first time they come out, 2 tight ends. Second play, they go 4 or 5 wide receivers. They're going to spread it out. They're going to bunch it up. This is one way they're going to try to gain an advantage over Auburn.
Actually, 3rd down for Louisiana Monroe. 29% on 3rd down a year ago. As you look at Kevin Payne's numbers from his freshman season, the Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year. Auburn shows blitz with its outside linebackers, and it is the option, and the quarterback is close. Well, it'll be very close. Giles, did he get there for the first down? Jay Ratliff, defensive tackle for the Tigers, out of Valdosta, Georgia, on the stop for Auburn.
Very nice job playing the option here. When you run the option, you want to spread it out down the field towards the sideline as much as possible. Auburn's defense was able to do that. It looks like it will come down to a measurement.
So the chains will come out as Giles gets very close and may indeed have the first down for Louisiana Monroe.
I tell you, Andy, one thing in this game that's going to be interesting to watch, you look at the middle 3 on this Louisiana Monroe offensive line, and they weigh each about 275. So in these short yardage situations, you can see there Auburn stretched the offense out. Jay Ratliff, nice play. Great pursuit by the defense, but he did get a lunge there towards the end. But like I was saying, this offensive line is only about 275 in the middle, so they're probably going to be going outside on those short yardage situations.
First down and 10 for Louisiana Monroe at the 29-yard line. Again, the handoff, and Payne gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard before Doug Langenfeld out of Moncks Corner, South Carolina, makes the stop for Auburn. Langenfeld, 6'3", 254, began his college career at Reedley Community College out of San Francisco and back at Auburn now, and he makes makes the stop. A gain of just 1 on the play. Second down and 9 for the Indians at the 30-yard line.
Looks like Josh Thompson has made an entrance on the defensive line for Auburn.
Right, Thompson up at nose tackle, taking the place of T.J. Jackson up front. Again, the handoff, and the ball is loose. Picked up. It's still loose. Auburn's going to get it at the 30. Will Herring, I think, tried to pick it up. He dropped it, but got it back. And Auburn gets the first turnover of the season.
Junior Rosegreen on the recovery.
Will Herring was the first to get his hands on the ball, but Rosegreen came in to clean it up, and Auburn gets great field position off the turnover.
Definitely not the way you want to start out for Louisiana Monroe. He looks for the cutback. Then a great play right there, just coming back underneath. He strips the ball loose. This is something that these guys are just not going to be able to do against this more talented Auburn team. To give the field position like this, and not only how deflating a turnover is at this point in the game.
So Rosegreen on the fumble recovery, giving the offense great field position at the 30. Carnell Williams, Ronnie Brown in the backfield at the same time. The quarterback is Jason Campbell, and the handoff to the Cadillac. Bounces it out twice, lunges forward for about 3 yards, and that's about all. A look at the Auburn offense up front. Marcus McNeil, Ben Grubbs, Jeremy Ingle, Danny Lindsay making his 28th consecutive start today, and Troy Reddick, a preseason All-SEC performer. Carnell in the backfield. Jake Slaughter is the slated fullback. Cooper Wallace at tight end. Aroma Shadu and Taylor, just one of several receivers, and the fifth-year senior quarterback, Jason Campbell. A year ago, over 2,200 yards with 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. A gain of 3 on first down. Carnell will get the ball again. Stood up at the line, stays on his feet, down to the 20. That's going to be close to an Auburn first down.
This is one thing you love about Carnell Williams, Andy. He keeps those pads low and always keeps the legs churning.
Guillory, Johnny, and Johnson and Oneko Shine up front for Monroe. Alexander Winchester at middle linebacker. He's a terrific player. Chris Harris, Mouton, Richard Williams, and Michael Henry in the backfield for the Indians. It is a 3rd and 1 for Auburn. The Tigers 36% on 3rd down a year ago. They hand off to Williams. Dives across the first down marker inside the 20. And the Tigers will have first down and 10. Shelton Williams, who had 43 tackles a year ago, makes the stop for the Indians. But Auburn right now keeping it basic and keeping it in number 24.
And Andy, it looks as almost Louisiana Monroe's big playmaker Chris Harris has almost been moved to a hybrid linebacker type of situation, on the replay there. But they definitely have him down towards the line of scrimmage a little bit more than what I had seen on him on film earlier in the week.
A full year for Carnell, first time in his Auburn history, and over 1,300 yards for the Tigers last season. 1st and 10 at the 18. The pitch to Williams has some room. Good block by Ronnie Brown. Williams stood up at about the 13-yard line, and that's as far as he goes. John Winchester, at linebacker of Logansport, Louisiana, made the stop for Louisiana Monroe. But you saw Ronnie Brown leading that time. He's going to be in the role of a fullback, so to speak, as he will be in the backfield quite a bit this year with Carnell Williams.
It's something that Auburn fans are very excited about, is having both of these guys in the backfield at the same time. That time, offensive lineman, I think, might have just cut it up a little bit early in terms of the guys that were pulling. Carnell did a good job following Ronnie, but those linemen, instead of going outside so much, maybe want to turn it upfield a little faster.
Offset eye, Auburn 2nd down and 4 from the 12. Campbell, the pitch to Carnell Williams. Williams, head down inside the 10, first down near the 5. Boy, and if there was any question as to whether Ronnie Brown could be a lead blocker, he certainly answered that in the last 2 series.
Without a doubt. He has come out and put his head in there and gotten involved with some collisions with these linebackers, and you like to see that. A lot of collar outlet here and coming out and looking very well.
First down and goal from the Auburn, from the Louisiana Monroe 6. Carnell out of the game right now. Ronnie Brown in at tailback, and Jake Slaughter the fullback, and the flag down before the play is run. And you'll notice something different this year. Matt Austin will deliver this, but they're naming numbers this season on the penalties.
Without a doubt, and you don't like that as an offensive lineman. I can.
Full start. 69 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, Ben Grubbs doesn't like to hear number 69 used on the PA system here at Jordan Hare Stadium, but he's the one that moved. And so Auburn now moved back to the 10-yard line. First and goal actually from the 11. And again, Ronnie Brown stays in at the tailback spot for Auburn. Courtney Taylor, Devin Aroma, Shadu are the tailbacks, and Brown stood up at the 10-yard line, got to the 9 before he was driven back on the play. A gain of 2 on first down for Auburn.
And Andy, this is what the Louisiana Monroe defense is going to do. They're going to take 8, 9 guys and put them right there in between the tight ends and tackles, and they're going to say, Jason Campbell, you're going to have to come out and beat us with your arm. Unfortunately for their defense, Carnell Williams and Ronnie Brown have been able to move the ball into that defensive front that they're showing, and that sign's good for Auburn.
Auburn has kept the ball on the ground this entire drive, which started at the 30 of Louisiana Monroe. 6 plays, 21 yards, all on the ground so far for Auburn, in a drive that's already over 2 minutes long for the Tigers. Carnell back in, and Campbell drops to throw. Floats the ball to Carnell Williams. He's got a blocker. He is gone. Touchdown. Danny Lindsay, the right guard, with a great kick-out block out on the right side against Louisiana Monroe's Michael Henry, and Carnell had a huge hole to dance into the end zone.
A lot of times on the screenplay, Andy, it comes down to making one block in terms of breaking it. You'll see right here, right guard Danny Lindsay, as you pointed out. Not too much pursuit from the Louisiana Monroe defense, and Lindsay right there just gets enough of him. No one else is going to be able to reach Carnell, especially with only 5-10 yards to go.
The extra point from Vaughn. It is up, and it is good from John Vaughn for Auburn. And the Tigers take advantage of the fumble recovery at the Louisiana Monroe 30-yard line. The Tigers go 7 plays, 6 on the ground, and they cap it off as Carnell Williams gets the pass from Jason Campbell. For Campbell, his 26th touchdown pass, and the Cadillac into the end zone, and the Tigers are on the board. 7-0 Auburn. 8:55 to go on CSS and the Auburn Network in the first. 8:55 remaining in the first quarter of play. Auburn getting a turnover at the Louisiana Monroe 30, and the Tigers take it into the end zone. This big crowd on hand at opening day 2004. 7-0 Auburn with the lead. Very basic offensively for Auburn. Give the ball to the tailback and then suck them in. Get the little float pass out to the tailback to take into the end zone, Cole.
Yes, sir. One thing I was impressed with, however, was Jason Campbell's poise. He did check a few times there on that drive, got them into the right plays. Obviously, patience on the screenplay. As you come back, you see 7 plays, 30 yards. It's a nice drive for Auburn, even after a turnover. A lot of times after a turnover, a little bit too much excitement. You come in 3 and out, then you have to kick. It's good to see Auburn, Jason Campbell with the poise, lead them down the field for a score.
And Carnell Williams with the touchdown reception, something we were told we'd see more of out of this Al Borges West Coast, or as he calls it, Gulf Coast offense here. And the Tigers are on the board, as you see Philip Yost to kick it off for Auburn. And deep to receive, Charles Estes and Joe Merritt for Louisiana Monroe. And Yost punches this one back through the end zone, and it will be a touchback for Louisiana Monroe. Yost will handle all of the kickoff duties this season, and the long field goals. John Vaughn with the field goals, the normal field goals, and the extra points. So that's the way things are going to start. As you see Charlie Weatherby in his second season as the head coach at Louisiana Monroe. This team went 1-11 last year. Of course, former head coach at Navy as well, where he won 45 games at the Naval Academy. 7-0 Louisiana Monroe. Second series for Stephen Giles and Kevin Payne in the Indian offense. Long count, play action. Or the handoff rather to Payne, and nothing doing there. They're going to lose yardage. Travis Williams leads a host of blue jerseys for Auburn, and it will be a loss of 2 or 3 on the play. The Tigers really keying in on number 14, Kevin Payne.
It's a nice play by Travis Williams. Basically, just as you can see, reads the toss sweep right there, gets back inside of his block, and just makes the play. Good job of keeping his shoulder square to the sidelines. That's one thing you'll hear on defense a lot, is keeping those shoulders square, wrapping up that running back.
Looked like the right guard, Josh Wade, just ran right past Travis Williams, who was more than happy to take down the back.
It's hard to stop that 320 when it gets rolling there, Andy.
They'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw is Giles. Quick floater, and caught at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. A big stick by Junior Rosegreen on the play, and this will go for very little, if no yardage on the play.
Kevin Sears comes on the blitz, untouched. You got to pick up the blitz. This is one thing this quarterback is going to have to do against Auburn. Comes free, and obviously Junior Rosegreen, the nice read coming up on that play. He was probably rolling up to cover the blitzing linebacker in Sears, and they just put him right into the play.
Payne comes out of the game, and they'll go to a 4-wide set right now with a man in the slot for Louisiana Monroe. 3rd and 9 for the Indians at the 21. And the handoff to that lone man in the backfield, nothing doing. Mason Denham taken down by T.J. Jackson. They're trying to catch Auburn in a passing defense mode, and the Tigers were able to snuff that one out easily.
T.J. Jackson, as you can see right here, doesn't get too far upfield on the trap. That's usually what you would like to do, is draw that defensive lineman too far upfield and then sneak right under him there. As you can see, does a great job of playing that trap right into his hands.
Joel Stelly, a fantastic punter for Louisiana Monroe. 46.5 yards a punt last season. In there to do the duties, and it was almost blocked by Donna Young. He did get a piece of it. Donna Young did get a piece of it, and it goes out of bounds at the Louisiana Monroe 40-yard line. Just a 21-yard punt, thanks in great measure to number 10 for Auburn, Donna Young. So the Tigers get a blocked punt. They'll have good field position when we come back. 7-0 Auburn at Jordan Hare Stadium. 7-0. Tommy Tuberville's team on top and with good field position to start its second offensive drive of this very young season. Donna Young with a blocked punt of Joel Stelly. You take a look, Auburn has a great deal coming back, especially offensively. Look at the numbers. The rushing yards, 80%, thanks in part to Carnell and Ronnie Brown coming back. 88% of Auburn scoring, 84% of the touchdowns. Its total offense at 86%. All-purpose yards, 79%. So a great deal of Auburn's offense, especially at the skilled positions, back for this 2004 season.
And that's one thing that's going to help this offensive line kind of gel together and become a unit. When you can rely on those Carnell Williams, Jason Campbells, and Ronnie Browns, it makes your life a whole lot easier.
And almost all the receivers are back, with the exception of Jarris McIntyre as well. 1st and 10 for Auburn at the Monroe 40-yard line. You see Ronnie Brown set up in the slot. Offset eye. Carnell Williams is the tailback. Campbell to throw with a lot of time. Throws, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. That's intended for Silas Daniels, but knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10 for Auburn.
One thing you'll hear an offensive line coach say is you want to get their hands down. A lot of times those pass rushers will drop off and not really play zone, but just sit back and relax on it a little bit, and you want to go punch them in that chest and really try to get their hands down.
South Carolina having no trouble in Nashville against Vanderbilt. The handoff to Carnell Williams. Williams staying on his feet for 5 yards before he is finally brought down. You take a look at Carnell Williams' stature. He's 5'11", 204 pounds. He's a little bit bigger than he was as a freshman. I think some folks are surprised, Cole, at how durable and how bruising he can be.
Andy, it's amazing to me to see the tackles he breaks, the crowds he comes out of, and the way that his most amazing asset to me is just his legs and the way his legs churn nonstop.
Already 6 carries for 29 yards in this first quarter of play. Anthony Mix, the man in motion for Auburn. And movement on the line of scrimmage. That was Troy Reddick, I believe, the right tackle, that shuffled his feet.
Took the offense a little while to get that play off and get rolling. That's one of those West Coast formations we're going to see. A little bunch, trips left, 3 wide receivers in a close formation over there.
False start, number 66 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
All right, Cole, we'll get another look here. You see Reddick already shuffling the steps.
3rd and 11.
You can tell he's a little bit upset with himself.
Yes, sir. Just a little jumpy. You get out there on that edge, and it gets a little bit harder to hear, and different things happen, and sometimes you get anxious.
Reddick, preseason All-SEC as a junior out of Westover High in Albany, Georgia. 2nd penalty of the day for Auburn. And now 3rd down for the Tigers. Campbell to throw. Has Ben Obamanu open. Obamanu head down inside the 30 and a 1st down for Auburn. Michael Henry and Galandos Johnson on the stop for Monroe, but not before Ben Obamanu breaks a couple tackles to get the 1st down.
Great protection up front, Andy. And this is what I talked about earlier. As you can see, Campbell, nice protection here in the pocket. 2 running backs step up. And that's what they need. They need a guy to come in and make plays. That boosts Jason Campbell's confidence like nothing else.
great protection and yards after the catch.
373 yards for Obamanu a year ago and 3 touchdowns for the Tigers. And Williams bounces inside and taken down. Nice ankle tackle after about a 2-yard gain by Carnell Williams by John Winchester.
Looked like a slant by the defensive line there and just may have gotten inside that guard tackle combination block.
Cash Mouton also came up for the stop on Carnell Williams, who's getting a workout here in the first quarter.
You can see Jake Slaughter there having to pick up the tackle's man. He just slipped inside, and when you zone block, a lot of time that's going to happen. It's basically just an outside zone play there, but you have to be ready for anything when you go to that zone blocking scheme.
1-yard gain for Carnell, 2nd and 9 from the 28 for Auburn. The bootleg Campbell floats it, throws, man is open, and down to about the 25-yard line for Auburn. Brown on the carry. Jason Schuley, a former tailback, now playing linebacker for Louisiana Monroe, makes the stop.
And a nice play action here. Jason Campbell going to Carnell Williams, looks back across. And Andy, what this does, it doesn't look impressive to Auburn fans, and it doesn't look great. This sets them up for here when they don't have this excellent field position for a deep ball off of that play action, because you can see how many guys they have around the box there.
36% on 3rd down a year ago for Auburn. The Tigers need 7. Play clock down to 4. Short drop by Campbell. Throws, and in and out of the hands of Anthony Mix. John Winchester there to put the hit on Mix, who couldn't hang on to the ball. I think even if he catches it, it would have been shy of the 1st down. So 4th down, and Auburn will bring John Vaughn on to attempt the field goal here. A year ago, Vaughn was 6 of 10. His longest field goal was 34 yards. He's on now. This one will be about 42 yards, a little over 42 yards for Vaughn. So looking for his career long on his first of the season. And the kick is on the way, and it has the distance, and it is good. So Vaughn with a 42-yard kick, his longest of the career, out of the hold of Sam Reeves, and the snap from Pete Compton. And Vaughn gets the glad hand as he comes off. Tigers now up with 3:54 to go. First quarter play, 10-0 Auburn on CSS and the Auburn Network. 3:54 to go, first quarter of play, and the Tigers have taken advantage of some miscues by the offense for Louisiana Monroe. An early fumble and then a blocked punt. And Auburn has converted that into 10 points. John Vaughn just moments ago with a 42-yard field goal, the longest of his Auburn career. And the Tigers up by a score of 10-0. The drive, 7 plays, 14 yards, 2 minutes, 52 seconds, following the blocked punt by Donnie Young. So for the 3rd time today, Philip Yost will be out to kick it off for Auburn here in just the first quarter of play.
I'll tell you, Andy, I can't think of a better way for John Vaughn to start out this season. He comes out, hits a career-long field goal, knocks in through the extra point. And this has been a concern for Coach Tommy Tuberville and the entire team. Not only last season, but the last few seasons. Coach Tuberville's tenure here has been a little shaky at the kicker position. And I tell you, as an offensive lineman, as a quarterback, a receiver, it almost makes you want to press a little bit on 3rd down in that red zone, because you don't want to have to rely on something that might be unstable. These guys can come out and solidify that kicking game. I think that helps the entire team's confidence.
There's no question that Auburn has to have more consistency, especially in its place kicking. They feel very good about its punting, and Cody Bliss, a sophomore back from out of the Nashville area. Fortunately for Auburn, Cody has had no action today, hasn't had to punt it. Again, Yost will kick it off for the Tigers. Put his last kickoff in the end zone, and this one will go about 5, maybe 8 yards deep in the end zone. He has a little wind behind him coming out of the northeast this afternoon, and Yost puts it through the back, and Auburn will take that every single time.
Every time. He's giving it a ride. I tell you, one guy I'm impressed with is Tony Bell, number 3, the freshman out of Thompson High School outside of Birmingham. Boy, he's been the first one down every time, obviously made the first play of the game. And I'm impressed with the freshman. They've had good things to say about him as a defensive back as well.
You get attention by making those plays early on with the coaches, and Bell has certainly been noticed in the preseason scrimmages and here this afternoon. So take a look at number 3 on that Auburn sideline. 1st and 10. And Giles will work out of the shotgun. 5 wide set right now for the Indians. Now Kevin Payne moves to the right side of Giles. Short drop. Pressure. motion throws. It is complete to Druzon Quillen. And Quillen gets out to the 27-yard line before he's taken out of bounds by Derek Graves. Pressure by Doug Langenfeld as Giles just got that pass off in time.
Looked like slide protection by Louisiana Monroe, and that's one thing you're going to give up when you blitz. It's going to put a linebacker on a wide receiver. So it might look bad to Auburn fans. He gets a nice gain there, but on the other hand, having your linebacker on a wide receiver, that's actually a pretty good job of coverage. Sunshine here at Jordan Hare Stadium.
2nd down and 3 for the Indians. The play clock is down to 4 for Louisiana Monroe. Barely got the play off in time. The handoff to Payne, tries to bounce it back and does. He's got a first down to the 37-yard line. The stop made by Mayo Sowell for Auburn. A first down on the carry from Kevin Payne from Hodge High School in Jonesboro, Louisiana.
Just a zone play here again, and he's going to cut it back. You can see backside defensive end Stanley McClover. Everyone talks about his speed, and occasionally that speed can get you in trouble. Just a little bit of over pursuit there, missed the tackle, but I tell you, Payne has some nice moves as well. I'll give him credit.
Make a correction. He's actually from Junction City, Arkansas. Very close to the town where Tommy Tuberville grew up in. Giles off the shotgun throws. Good catch out here on the near side to the 44-yard line by Charles Estes. Just had one catch a year ago for 40 yards and matches that here in the first quarter of play. Will Herring, the free safety, on the stop for Auburn.
Well, and as you can see here, it's just they're going to cut these guys and try to get rid of the ball quick. Auburn seems to be sitting back in a bit of a zone. Probably has some younger guys in, want to get them some experience. But one thing they don't want to do is get complacent. We talked about the playmaking abilities of this offense early, Andy.
2nd and 2 for Louisiana Monroe. Payne, the man in motion. The handoff to the backup tailback Denham. He got to the line of scrimmage and then a yard before Quentin Groves out of Greenville, Mississippi, on the stop for Louisiana Monroe. And this will be close to the first down. As a matter of fact, close enough that it is a first down. Louisiana Monroe, first down. No need for the chains to come out. First down, and they're almost working backwards. They're setting up the run with the pass right now, Cole.
Without a doubt, and sometimes you have to do that. And Auburn is showing great pursuit up front, and initially the defense is doing a very good job. What's happening is with the cutback, the backside defensive end and linebackers are maybe over pursuing a little bit, maybe a little bit too much excitement. Defense hasn't been on the field very much, but they should sit back and relax here and continue to make some plays.
4 receivers, a tailback, no tight end right now for Louisiana Monroe. High snap and the handoff. Near side again, Denham. And Denham gets to the 50-yard line before Derek Graves, a former tailback himself, makes the stop for Auburn. Graves, of course, a great story. Highly touted tailback coming out of high school. Signed with Auburn, great problems, a great mix-up. Worked in a grocery store in that off year, came to Auburn, moved to the linebacking spot. Great special teams player. A delight to talk with. Derek Graves in there right now is one of Auburn's backup linebackers. 2nd down and 5 for the Indians. A nice drive out to the Auburn 49. Payne trying to get to the outside. He will not get there. Big stop by Jay Ratliff, and Ratliff just ran down Payne from behind.
Definitely. This is what we talked about with the pursuit, where the cutbacks were hurting them earlier. This is where it's going to benefit Auburn's defense here. You try to get to the outside against these guys, they're way too fast. You can see Mayo, Sewell, and the guys, Ratliff there, just beats, he gets his head to the outside. One thing as an offensive lineman, you have to get that head across on zone block. That right guard doesn't get his head across. Ratliff, great speed. Just gets over and makes the play.
Auburn probably is quicker up front than it was a year ago with guys like Jay Ratliff and Stanley McClover. So 3rd and 7 now for Louisiana Monroe. The Indians 1 of 2 on 3rd down today. And Auburn puts 7 in the box. And a flag. And Louisiana Monroe ran out of time. This will be a delay of game. And perhaps because Auburn had 7 up in the box right there, and Giles was thinking about what he was going to do.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, number 15 in the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
This is a Louisiana Monroe team that a year ago was penalized about 64 yards a game. And it's first penalty of this afternoon's game. With about a minute to go in the first quarter of play, and Auburn leading Louisiana Monroe 10-0. Glad you joined us on this pay-per-view broadcast. We're glad to bring it to you today from Jordan Hare Stadium. Andy Bertram along with Cole Kibler. On the draw, Denham back to midfield. They'll be about 5 yards shy, however, of the first down.
Well, this play, without a doubt, had to do with the defense not being properly aligned. Looks like some confusion on finding the strength of the offense there. Guys back and forth trying to get set up. You can see the left defensive end not even in place. Not very hard to gain yardage when you don't have a guy lined up properly.
Derek Graves again in on the tackle for Auburn. And a punting situation now as Joel Stelly comes out for the second time today for Louisiana Monroe. Cadillac back at the 10-yard line to take this punt from Stelly. A Ray Guy Award nominee this season. And the whistle blows with 6 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And I'm not sure if they may not have reset the game clock or the play clock.
One interesting note here, Andy, is number 24 deep for Auburn to return the punt.
That's right.
And it is early to get into the Heisman talks, but that's one thing that you look at some of the guys in the past who have had maybe a shot at the Heisman. Take a Larry Fitzgerald for nature. Carnell Williams
Please reset it to 25 seconds.
Carnell Williams can break a few punt returns and have the type of rushing season he's capable of. Those are the small accolades that can boost you above those other people nationally.
Kirk Herbstreit, of course, with ESPN naming Carnell his best tailback in the country, and Carnell will have to wait till the second quarter to field this punt. All of that in the quarter comes to an end anyway. So the Tigers taking advantage of some early mistakes by Louisiana Monroe. And after the first quarter of the 2004 season opener, Auburn leads Louisiana Monroe 10-0 at Jordan Hare Stadium on CSS and the Auburn Network. Big Auburn crowd on hand for this afternoon's season opener, and the Tigers go into the second quarter leading Louisiana Monroe by a score of 10-0. With Cole Kibler, I'm Andy Bertram. Glad to be with you on this opening day for Auburn. And the Tigers on the first play of the second quarter set to receive a punt from Joel Stelly. Stelly is just a junior. Set the Louisiana Monroe and Sun Belt Conference record, averaging over 46.5 yards per punt last season. Carnell Williams for Auburn stands at the Tiger 10-yard line to receive the punt.
I'll tell you, Andy, while we have some time here, an interesting situation is Trey Smith, a guy who's had some shoulder problems in the offseason and coming in, possible red shirt situation, not really knowing how to handle that. And from what I gather, he told Coach Tuberville he just wants to help this team win. He wants to be involved.
Well, he's not playing this afternoon because of that shoulder that you're talking about, Cole. They decided to hold him out and get him ready for the conference opener at Mississippi State next Saturday, 11:30 kick in Starkville. Stelly will try and pin Auburn deep, and that's off the side of his foot. Straight up in the air. And Auburn, all things considered, get pretty good field position. Stelly really could have put Auburn back inside its own 5. Just a 20-yard punt. His first punt was 21 yards. 20 yards now on that punt. And you see Brandon Cox in at quarterback for Auburn. Tommy Tuberville this week on Tuesday, as a matter of fact, said that Auburn would use Brandon Cox early in the game regardless of the situation.
Well, the second offensive line enters as well. King Dunlap, Jonathan Palmer, some new guys up front. So they're going to obviously just give the second group a chance to come in here and get some playing time.
Redshirt freshman Cox out of Trussville High School in Trussville, Alabama. Joined the team in December. And the first thing he does is hand off right up the middle to Carnell Williams, who struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit up front from Brandon Guillory leading the charge for Louisiana Monroe. That backup offensive line for Auburn has Stephen Ross at center, Jonathan Palmer and Tim Duckworth at the guards, Rich Trucks, aptly named young man at 6'6", 280, and King Dunlap, aptly named at 6'8", 290, out there at the 2 tackle spots.
It seems right now just to be Dunlap and Palmer, the only 2 subs.
Second down and 10 for Auburn. This is Ronnie Brown. Brown gets a couple yards. John Winchester, an honor student in mathematics at Louisiana Monroe. Both of these teams have numerous graduates. Auburn has 8 that have already obtained their bachelor's degrees and working postgraduate work.
Something that definitely has to make Coach Tommy Tuberville happy.
Yep. Second year that Auburn's had a good number of guys that have already graduated, and Auburn with 7 graduates is among tops in the country this season. Third down and Cox, short drop, fires, complete. That's Courtney Taylor, one man to beat, and he beats him, and now Taylor in a foot racing down to the 30. Simple slant route to Taylor. John Winchester with the touchdown-saving tackle.
Louisiana Monroe walks them up. They show blitz early, and they bring it. Brandon Cox, one of his big positives that he has shown is his poise. You'll see him. Blitz comes off the end. Ronnie Brown, nice pickup, hits the slant. Very simple, very effective.
39 yards on the reception by Courtney Taylor.
See, another thing you like to see is Aroma Shadu and Mix downfield. Look at these guys trying to help their fellow receiver out, get a few blocks downfield.
First and 10 at the 30. It's the pitch. Brown cuts it up at the 25. Ronnie Brown down inside the 20 to the 13-yard line. John Winchester on the tackle, 17 yards and a first down for Ronnie Brown.
In one area I think these two differ a little bit, Andy, is Ronnie Brown has a little bit more of that stutter step cut back inside where it looks like he's almost slowing down, but he really sets himself up to make a cut, where Carnell Williams is a lot more of the slasher type of a runner.
A year after gaining over 1,000 yards, Ronnie Brown with 446. He fought injuries last year. And he gives Auburn 17 yards down to the 17-yard line. Again, Ronnie Brown just up the middle, following his center, Jeremy Engel, inside the 15-yard line. Josh Alexander out of Evangel Christian in Shreveport, Louisiana. What a great athletic high school that is. And a Ronnie Brown inside the 15 with the carry.
Play picked up 3 yards, 2nd and 7 at the 14.
Jake Slaughter checks in at fullback. Brown stays in at tailback. Second down and 7 at the 14 for Auburn. Long count by Cox. With time, now he's going to run it. He's got all day to run it. Cox is going to score from 14 yards out. Touchdown.
Like we talked about earlier, Andy, poise. He has a calmness about him when he enters the game. He looks at 1, he looks 2, you'll see here on the replay. He sees that right side of the line collapse, and he just takes it and runs it in.
Hey, I guarantee you, the first touchdown he was going to be a part of, he never thought it was going to be him running from 14 yards. But there was nobody there.
Hey, give the kid credit. He switches hands, gets the ball over to his right hand towards the sideline. Looks like a tailback taking a sweep there.
Vaughn on for the extra point, and it is good. So Brandon Cox with a 14-yard touchdown run. Ronnie Brown took his man out, and Cox had all day and lots of room to roam. 17-0 Auburn on top with 11:44 to go in the second quarter. Tigers on top of Louisiana Monroe, 17-0. 11:44 to go in the second quarter of play at Jordan Hare Stadium. Big crowd on hand. Lots of folks wearing their orange here this afternoon. And Brandon Cox scores his first collegiate touchdown. Redshirt freshman out of Good Trustful High School in Alabama, guiding Auburn on the drive, and the Tigers now up by a score of 17-0. You talked about his poise on the big catch and pass. He was staying in there against the blitz, and
well, it's just slide protection to the left, so he knows he's not going to have entirely too much time. And then Ronnie Brown takes his man to the outside, and that just opens a big gap.
Cox into the end zone for the touchdown. Good downfield blocking by Courtney Taylor there as well. And the Tigers go up by a score of 17-0. The drive, 6 plays, 71 yards. Cox on the 17-yard run for Auburn.
Well, you have to be happy as Coach Tommy Tuberville there. And you see Brandon Cox come in and pretty much do it all. Looks like he checked off a run or two there, got him into the right play, completes a nice pass, shows some poise in the pocket, drops back, looks off his receivers, and takes off, and with a nice, safe run, scores the touchdown. Very effective, excuse me.
2 of Philip Yost's first 3 kickoffs have sailed into the end zone. That was with the wind. He will be kicking into a pretty good win here in the second quarter. Estes and Merritt deep. And Yost pours it through the wind and through the back of the end zone. So far, so good for the Auburn kicking game here this afternoon. And Yost gets a glad hand from Eddie Grant, Auburn's tailback coach, and also the special teams coach.
So I guess it wasn't so much the wind on the other 2 that we thought.
Apparently not. Take a look at Stephen Giles coming onto the field for Louisiana Monroe, and Auburn dominating not only on the scoreboard but in the statistics as well. 126 total yards for Auburn, only 46 for the Indians, who work out of their own 20-yard line. Handoff to Denham. And Denham gets about 3 yards. And interesting that we've seen Denham run the ball a majority of the time since about the second drive, and not Payne.
And Payne looked like he had some nice moves out there early. I was impressed with Payne. And Travis Williams does a nice job here. A little bit of misdirection, the trap inside. He stayed at home, made the play.
Well, he has to play big for Auburn. Without Carlos Dansby and Dontarius Thomas, guys, the big names and the big players in the middle. Travis Williams is not a big guy. He's only 6'1", 209. Some concern about that size, but he was the other linebacker with Carlos and Dontarius a year ago. Had a very good season. Play action, the throw, Giles, caught and dropped. Junior Rosegreen comes up to make the hit on Charles Estes. The pressure again from Doug Langenfeld. And we've mentioned his name already a couple times this afternoon.
Big hit by Junior Rosegreen. You see him go to the play action. Langenfeld doesn't bite.
It may have forced Giles to throw that a little bit earlier than he would have liked. And
I think he definitely did. And it probably, usually on the play action, you have your one escape route. If you have pressure like that was, and then you also have your deep ball that's going to take a little time to open up. I'm sure they were waiting for that, just couldn't get it off.
There's 3rd down and 1 for the Indians. 1 of 3 today. The handoff, Payne hit behind the line, and down he goes. And Antarius Williams, the outside linebacker, made the initial stop for Auburn.
And he steps up and takes on this fullback in the hole. And this is just a wonderful play. I'm sure Joe Witt loves to see this. Great toughness, comes in, blows up the fullback. You see him right here. When you blow that fullback out of the way and still make the tackle, usually you want to take that fullback out, let one of your boys make the play, but he stepped in there, stuck his nose in, and made the play himself. That's an excellent play.
Stelly, who averaged over 46 yards a punt last year, has put in his lunge punts of 21 and 20 yards here today. The first was blocked. The second just off the side of his foot. Looks like Auburn may go after it. Now they'll drop back, and Stelly, a low line drive punt that bounces to Carnell Williams at the 20. Williams with a stutter step and then taken down from behind. The first man that missed him came in to make the tackle. 52-yard punt. That's more Joel Stelly-esque, so to speak.
Karibi Day with a nice block on that play. Man, Andy, I watched this guy in warm-ups, and he was booming the punts all the way across the field.
Jason Campbell says, all right, the young kids had enough. It's time for me to get back in there. Campbell back in the game, quarterback for Auburn.
Might check to a few passes early here, show him what he's got.
Make sure that visiting the AuburnTigers.com website next time is a part of your daily routine. It's newly revamped, including a visitor's guide and photo galleries. It's Auburn's official home on the web, AuburnTigers.com. Play action, Campbell, deep drop, looking, throwing, Courtney Taylor in and out of the hands at the 35-yard line. Cash Mouton was back for Louisiana Monroe. Auburn trying to go to the home run ball.
Well, I said Campbell would want to come out and throw one deep to show him what he had.
You were right.
I'll tell you, very impressive. You'll see left tackle right here, number 72, Leon Hart, the freshman. He's got his man up there on the line of scrimmage. Good job of pass pro. Kept his feet wide, a nice base. Courtney Taylor almost makes the catch. This is one guy they're very high on, is Leon Hart, the freshman.
He was really the jewel of Auburn's recruiting class out of South Carolina. 2nd and 10. Again, Campbell to throw. And it's dropped. Silas Daniels drops this one. Cash Mouton again on the coverage. And Jason Campbell has thrown 2 passes in this series, and I think most would agree that both could have, perhaps should have been caught.
This seemed to be a situation where Daniels might have been thinking about upfield a little bit before he had the ball in his hands.
Auburn 3 of 4 on 3rd down this afternoon. Campbell steps up and throws complete. Silas Daniels caught it, and he has a first down for the Tigers. Pass was a little low, but Daniels came back and got it just about a yard beyond the first down marker.
Seemed to be good protection up front, collapsed a little bit late. Jason had enough time. Went to his first couple options and then goes over to Daniels and a nice reception.
23 catches for Silas Daniels a year ago. In his best of his career for Auburn. And he gives Auburn a first down on the catch by Jason Campbell. And a flag was thrown on the near sideline near the Auburn bench away from the play, and I think this is would be going against Monroe. We'll find out.
You're looking for participation on the defense. 12 men on the field at the snap. The penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
Charlie Weatherby is not convinced that that was illegal participation by his ball club. So it is a first down. The Tigers decline the penalty, of course. First down and 10 for Auburn at its own 33-yard line. Brown and Carnell in the backfield. Williams on the carry, and he's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
It looks like big 77 King Dunlap might be frustrated there.
Maynard Johnny was the one that made the stop.
A 1-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9.
Second and 10 for Auburn at the 33.
Ronnie Brown in the slot.
Carnell Williams on the carry. Cuts it across midfield. First down for Carnell to the 47-yard line. Chris Harris, all Sun Belt Conference safety, made the stop for Louisiana Monroe.
And Andy, impressively enough, Ronnie Brown, another great block. You'll see him lined up out here in the slot. Looked like he was supposed to have a crackback. Saw that Cooper Wallace had it taken care of. Comes downfield and takes out another man. Nice job by Ronnie Brown.
First down to the 47 of Louisiana Monroe. Play action. Campbell, boy, plenty of time. He's going deep. And interference. Silas Daniels, the intended receiver, tried to catch it with one hand. Cash Mouton was the one defending, and he will be guilty of the infraction.
Well, obviously you take the interference before you'll take the points.
Pass interference. It was called against Louisiana Monroe.
This will be the penalty against Monroe, and it'll give Auburn another first down. And on this drive, twice Auburn has thrown it deep. First time to Courtney Taylor through his hands, and that time Silas Daniels.
Pass interference on the defense, number 21. It's a 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Another look. Boy, Jason Campbell looks at two different receivers before throwing deep.
Great protection.
And Silas Daniels had his man beaten. You could see Mouton reaching out.
He got the arm caught underneath him. You see right there.
Grabbed his wrist.
A little more flagrant than I thought it was.
He got every bit of his money's worth on that interference penalty. So Auburn now down to the 32 of Louisiana Monroe. Again, Carnell Williams to the outside. Bides his time, gets inside the 30 on the play.
Stop made by number 12, John Winchester.
For everything travelers need, there's the Hilton Garden Inn in Auburn, Opelika. In Montgomery, where every guest room offers complimentary high-speed internet access and secure remote printing to the hotel's 24-hour business center. All Hilton Garden Inn locations feature the Great American Grill restaurant, featuring freshly made breakfast and dinner. The friendly staff looks forward to welcoming you. For more information on Hilton Garden Inn hotels, visit HiltonGardenInn.com or call 877-STAY-HGI.
Ronnie Brown in the slot again here, Andy.
Carnell Williams right up the gut. Taken down at the 27-yard line. Somebody lost their hat. I think it's Tim Duckworth, the backup guard.
You see these zone plays continue to go, and Carnell Williams will stretch and then cut up. Seems to be only a matter of time before one of those things comes busting loose.
That's right. Already 11 carries, 55 yards for Carnell Williams this afternoon. 6:30 to go first half. Auburn up 17-0. Campbell looks across and back and now gets the ball to Anthony Mix. When Mix caught the ball, he had a first down. They drove him back, and they'll give him forward progress to the 20 and an Auburn first down. So 7 yards and a first down. Sean Maynard on the stop for Monroe.
Oh, the smart play. Looks like a quick out here. Jason doesn't like what he sees. Man was covered. Comes back and just pick up 6 or 7 yards. Nice catch by Mix in traffic.
Tell you what we've seen for both of the quarterbacks so far is good protection.
Without a doubt. And you can see, obviously, the play action is setting up a lot of that protection. Linebackers are definitely frozen when they go and show that handoff to either Carnell Williams or Ronnie Brown.
Hugh Nall over the shoulder there of Tommy Tuberville. Hugh Nall, of course, Auburn's offensive line coach. On the bootleg, Campbell throws complete. Anthony Mix has got it, but he only gets a couple yards on the play.
There's a little West Coast action there.
Good open field tackle by Chris Harris for Louisiana Monroe. He had two receivers, and he went to the underneath receiver there and Mix. Watches Campbell. As you see, Hugh Nall actually looking on. Of course, Hugh was Auburn's offensive coordinator a year ago as well. Al Borges brought in as the coordinator. Hugh Nall stays on as offensive line coach.
And Coach Nall is very excited about this group. He feels like it's one of the most athletic offensive lines he's ever had.
2nd and 8 for Auburn. The draw to Carnell Williams. Makes one man miss, but not the second. And Carnell gets about a yard, and that's all. Good pursuit to the ball. And a flag thrown late in the play. Damian Richard out of Norco, Louisiana, made the stop. The flag was thrown on the backside of the play. This will be a hold against Auburn. So Auburn will march backwards. Tigers will be penalized for the 3rd time this afternoon.
Holding on the offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
Here's another look.
King Dunlap, the right tackle. Got that right hand, it looks to be on the back of the jersey. Of course, I'm never going to feel like that's a holding call here.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
Looked like he had his hands inside to me. That's a great block. He throws his man down.
Yeah, looked like a pretty good takedown to me.
I tell you, that's a frustrating thing. That was one thing as an offensive lineman, you knew there was 5 of you, so if there was a holding, no one ever really knew if it was you or not.
Now they do.
I don't like it.
2nd and 18 for Auburn. Campbell to Ronnie Brown. Brown trying to cut back across the grain. Brown is taken down at the 24-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play for Auburn. Jason Shuley makes the stop.
3rd and 13.
When Louisiana Monroe came here last year, Shuley was playing tailback for the Indians.
Just a basic screenplay there, Andy. And the one block we talked about on Carnell's score, the man came up and just clogged in the lane, forced Ronnie Brown inside. I think he would have rather gone outside.
4 minutes already on this drive, 10 plays, 64 yards. 3rd and 13. Campbell steps up and he throws it. And it is caught. Intercepted by Louisiana Monroe. That's Shelton Williams on the interception, returned back to the Auburn 45.
Well, I will give you a positive on this. Freshman Leon Hart with another great job, one-on-one. Gets beat a little bit upfield and just runs his man right past Jason. You'll see the left tackle here, number 72 there, runs his man right past Jason. Jason steps up, just seems to not come off well.
He may have been hit low as he was delivering the ball. And a good play by Shelton Williams to get the interception for Monroe. So the first turnover of the day by Auburn gives Louisiana Monroe its best field position of the second quarter here at the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for Giles in the offense for Louisiana Monroe. And he throws it to the near sideline, a 5-yard gain, as Antarius Williams takes Vincent Mitchell out of bounds for Louisiana Monroe. 5 yards on the play. The quick hitter, actually a 6-yard gain for Monroe.
And once again, not a bad job at all having a linebacker covering your wide receiver.
Second down and 4 for Monroe. The throw complete inside the 30-yard line. Again, Vincent Mitchell with the catch. And that's a first down for Louisiana Monroe. Carlos Rogers on the stop for Auburn. First time we've mentioned the all-SEC cornerback.
And it seems like Auburn playing a little soft, maybe sitting back just a little bit. Not overly concerned with the running game right now. They just want to make sure these passes stay in front. Don't want to give these guys any big hitters and let them take some momentum to their sideline.
From the 28, first and 10. Giles to run it himself and taken down at the 25-yard line. Patrick Lee makes the stop for Auburn, a redshirt freshman from Miami, Florida, Christopher Columbus High School.
That's a nice job of staying at home. You see the play action. Defensive end loses a little contained, but there, just stays at home, runs inside of his man. You stay there. They teach you stay on your man's hip. When he blocks down like that, when he tries to come inside, you want to stay on his hip because that'll lead you right to the play. It's a good job.
Gain of 3 for Giles. Again, working out of the shotgun. Throws. It's complete. On the near sideline, inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Druzon Quillen makes the catch, and he has a first down for Louisiana Monroe.
It seems Carlos Rogers got a little turned around here. Some confusion on the route. Another quick hitter, Andy. It seems that Louisiana Monroe is going to be satisfied with these little 2- and 3-step drops.
So Monroe down to the 15-yard line. Starting to wake up the crowd a little bit right now. Hand off to Denham. Denham taken down at the 11-yard line. Kevin Sears leading the charge for Auburn.
Antarius Williams, another big hit. He has seemingly been all over the place today. And you talked about earlier, Andy, the expectations for Travis Williams. I think this whole group of linebackers brings in an enormous amount of expectations with the entire defense, not including the secondary being young, inexperienced. They talk about they're light, they're fast. These guys are doing a good job today, stepping up and filling the voids that have been vacated by Dansby and Thomas.
Calvin Dawson is the back. Giles will run it himself. trying to kick it to the outside. He's going to lose a couple yards.
Ontarius Williams.
We've mentioned his name a couple times. Williams, of course, was a defensive back in high school, converted to kind of that hybrid linebacker spot for Auburn. He showed some great closing speed here on Giles.
Like we talked earlier, keep your pads parallel to the sidelines. Shuffle the feet and go make the play.
Ventarius wasn't going to get him. Carlos Rogers was right there as well.
If you guys saw how many times they do a drill with a giant ball with Coach Joe Witt of that right there in practice every day, you'd be proud.
3rd and 8 for Louisiana Monroe. 1 of 4 on 3rd down today. Giles looks and he throws, complete and taken down immediately. Hello, Kevin Sears. Denham, the backup tailback, was tattooed by Sears on the play.
Big hit. And these are the types of things you expect from these linebackers. Young kids, they can fly, they can run. Go make some plays. I'm sure that's their mentality in this game. Just another little quick hitter, throws it out. Kevin Sears, big hit.
Hello.
Big hit.
Regan Walters comes on as we take another look at the field goal here. This will be 29 yards out of the hold of Josh Hudnoff. Cody Bauman is the deep snapper for Monroe. And this is no good. He missed it wide left. So the best drive of the day for Louisiana Monroe, set up by the interception, results in no points. 46 seconds to go in the first half. Auburn leads Louisiana Monroe 17-0 on CSS and the Auburn Network. 17-0 Auburn. Final minute of the first half of play at Jordan Hare Stadium, season opener. Now the Auburn defense kind of picks up the offense after the interception. Cole, Auburn bends but does not break defensively. 2 very good plays late in the drive. Kevin Sears and Antarius Williams out here on the near sideline.
And it almost seemed that was the philosophy, the bend but don't break here. Kind of playing soft, having some linebackers on the receivers. Just a little out route. Kevin Sears, that's a great read to get over there that fast on a receiver running it out, make a big hit.
You notice Joe Merritt is there kind of as a personal protector for Denham against Sears. And Sears just runs right by number 9 and drills number 33. That was the 3rd down play that set up the field goal attempt that Waters just missed. Actually wide right to his perspective, from our perspective on the end zone camera. Wide left. Reminder, Auburn fans, tune in to the Auburn Network every Thursday night at 7 p.m. for Tiger Talk. Auburn coaches, including Tommy Tuberville, will take your calls. That's Tiger Talk every Thursday night with Rod Bramblett at 7 p.m. Central. Go to auburntigers.com for a complete list of affiliates in your area. Jason Campbell back out there again, through an interception last time out. As Auburn opens up 1st and 10 at its own 20, 46 seconds to go in the first half of play. Interesting to see if Auburn takes a crack deep here and tries to add here in the last minute of play to that scoreboard. Campbell does drop. Pump fake and gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down by Damian Richard and Brandon Guillory. Clock continues to run and Auburn goes with a no huddle, and now the Tigers will take their first timeout of the first half. Campbell looks a little bit ginger as he got up there. We'll take a break. 30 seconds to go, first half. Tigers up 17-0. Half minute remaining in the first half of play. 17-0 Auburn leads Louisiana Monroe. Opening day, big crowd on hand at Jordan Hare Stadium. Charlie Weatherby's team down 17-0. Cole, it could be worse for the Louisiana Monroe Indians. And you look at Jason Campbell.
It could definitely be worse. Both guys effective. 8 for 8. Giles, that's impressive. So, but you see the yardage, only 49 yards. That's what we talked about, those quick hitters Louisiana Monroe has taken. Eventually, they're going to have to take some chances if they want to get some points on the board against Auburn.
That's right.
And I would be willing to guess with Jason taking the hit on that last play, we'll see Auburn just milk the clock here.
Tommy Tuberville's team up 17 as he gets ready to go into the locker room at the half.
And Andy, you talked about how it could be worse. One area when you come in as an underdog that you really have an opportunity to create a mismatch or gain an edge is in special teams. And these guys have not been able to do that at all. We've seen the punting woes and obviously the shanked field goal. Obviously, Auburn having a tremendous kickoff game here with Yost perfect in terms of putting him through the back of the end zone. So,
yeah, and you saw a picture there of Cody Bliss. We haven't seen him punt yet. Auburn hasn't been in that position yet.
No, sir.
2nd and 9. Campbell on the drop. Now looking, throwing. Nix tries to jump and cannot catch up with the ball. Taken out of bounds at the 43 by Shelton Williams.
Well, I'll tell you, Al Borges, I like it. 30 seconds left. He comes out. He's going to air it out and try to put some points on the board. Whereas most guys would take a knee. I prefer this. A little bit of a play action here, kind of a rollout. Campbell just a little too high on this.
And Anthony Mix got his hand on the ball but couldn't bring it in. They recall at the end of the first half last year, Auburn got a 57-yard field goal from Philip Yost, tying the school record. Trying to get in position right now with 23 seconds ago in the first half. Now they just give the ball to Carnell. And Williams run down at the 24-yard line in what will likely be the final play of the first half. John Winchester on the stop.
Just a little off tackle there. Carnell following, once again, Ronnie Brown.
Well, Auburn doesn't call timeout right now. It's Louisiana Monroe that calls timeout. It's 4th down for Auburn. So the Indians trying to salvage something here in the last few seconds. They stop the clock. We'll see if they go after the punter here. And Cody Bliss mentioned just a moment ago that he hadn't punted yet. He's going to get his first punt, at least his first punt opportunity, it would appear, right now.
Probably not a bad idea here for Louisiana Monroe.
Ronnie Brown and Carnell Williams deciding to come back for their 5th season at Auburn. Carnell has gotten the bulk of the carries today. Nearly 60 yards for Carnell on 12 carries.
And honestly, you would expect those numbers to be a little better. They haven't gotten that breakaway run yet. No big runs. Louisiana Monroe stacking the box. Really pressuring Auburn to throw in order to win or gain yardage. And they've had some mild success doing that so far. Field position, I would say, has played the biggest part of this game.
So Cody Bliss is on to punt it away for Auburn. And I think Monroe's going after this one. They bring 9, and Bliss gets the punt away. There's no one to receive it for Louisiana Monroe. As it rolls dead at the 33-yard line in the final play of the first quarter, or first half, a 44-yard punt by Cody Bliss to end the first quarter. So at the half, the Tigers head to the locker room on top in their season opener. Auburn 17, Louisiana Monroe nothing. We'll be back to Jordan Hare Stadium in just a few moments. Stay tuned right here on CSS and the Auburn Network. Welcome back to Jordan Hare Stadium. Auburn on top at the half by a score of 17-0 with Cole Kublik. I'm Andy Burcham. We take a look very quickly at the first half statistics, and Auburn dominated this game early on as the Tigers were able to take advantage of a fumble to start things off. Auburn able to take it into the end zone right off the bat. Actually, we take a look at the first half stats first, and Auburn in the statistics department really doing very, very well here this afternoon. 94 yards rushing, 87 in the air. Louisiana Monroe with 38 yards on the ground and 49 yards on the air. Really, their passing game was their best offensive weapon in the first half. Auburn doing very well on 3rd down in the first half, and time of possession pretty even right now, and that's a little bit surprising, Cole.
It is, especially with the short passes that they've been completing off and on. They haven't really gone deep, and they've gone to these short completions. You'll see here as we go look at Auburn, Campbell, and obviously the screen. Great block out front by Lindsey, and he just takes into the end zone.
Auburn on its first offensive possession, scoring the touchdown. Carnell Williams on the drive. Brandon Cox on his only series of the day, and gets a touchdown. The redshirt freshman out of Trussville, taking the ball, tucking it in, and going in from 14 yards out. The 2 Auburn touchdowns, one of the big highlights for Louisiana Monroe in the first half. An ensuing drive for Auburn. Campbell dropping back to pass. Looks like he gets hit just as he delivers the ball, and then Shelton Williams with the big interception return for Louisiana Monroe. But it did not result in any score as a missed field goal by the Indians in the first half of play. So at the half, 17-0, Auburn on top. Cole, what do you expect here very quickly in the second half?
I expect you to see more Auburn players come in, and I expect to see the defense continue to do exactly what they're doing now. Probably a lot more Brandon Cox, probably stay away from the passing game as much as they did in the first half.
Stay tuned. Second half action from Jordan Hare Stadium comes your way next on CSS and the Auburn Network. Welcome back to Jordan Hare Stadium with Cole Kublik. I'm Andy Burcham. We're about to begin the second half of play. Auburn will open up offensively here in the second half. Carnell Williams and Ben Obamanu to accept this kickoff from Joel Stelly, who doubles, of course, as the punter for Louisiana Monroe on a opening day, and a big crowd, over 80,000 on hand this afternoon for the season opener with Louisiana Monroe. And as you can tell, many sporting the orange as requested by the head coach. Coming up a little bit later on in the season, the LSU game, the All Auburn All Orange campaign to benefit Auburn Habitat, benefiting Habitat for Humanity here in Lee County. Stelly to kick it off. And this will go out of bounds, and Auburn's going to get good field position to open up the second half. Well, you talk about driving a coach nuts. When the kicker punches it out of bounds on the kickoff, and well, you see that happen a lot of times late in a game when you're trying to bury a team deep. This one is far from decided, however. 17-0 Auburn. Seemed as though Auburn dominated play in the first half, but only up by 17 points.
And it seems like the offense just a little bit complacent, couldn't really get that big play cranked up.
Look at Jason's first half numbers: 7 of 13, 48 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And Auburn will open up first down and 10 at its own 35-yard line as a result of the kickoff out of bounds.
Like we mentioned earlier, Jason's a couple of close catches. I don't want to really say drop balls, but a couple of close catches away from having a big day, and Auburn having a bigger day on offense than they have so far.
First and 10 from the 35. Auburn in a double tight end set. One of the few times we've seen that this afternoon. And Carnell Williams is the tailback, and it will be Carnell on the carry. Gets away from one man, cuts it up across the 40 to the 45-yard line, nearly a first down. Brandon Guillory made the stop, but not after Carnell Williams shook off 2 would-be tacklers for 10 yards and close to another Auburn first down.
You can see big Marcus McNeil there, just guy slanting inside. Gets caught up a little bit, gets his feet tangled, but he give him credit. He stuck with it, hustled downfield, and looked for another man. Carnell, great job of making the guy miss.
13 carries for 69 yards on the afternoon for Carnell Williams. Jake Slaughter now the leaning back. And it's a throw to Devin Aroma-Shadu. Aroma-Shadu into the open field inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. John Winchester on the tackle after the quick hitter. Jason Campbell to Devin Aroma-Shadu.
In this West Coast offense, a lot of the plays are going to be timing routes. You'll see here coming off a little play action. He's going to turn and throw. Expecting that man to be open. He was. Aroma-Shadu makes a great play after the catch.
22 yards on the pitch and catch to Devin Aroma-Shadu, and a first down for Auburn to the Louisiana Monroe 33. Campbell leaves the ball for Carnell Williams, and he will lose it. He loses 5 yards on the play. Brandon Guillory led the charge for Louisiana Monroe.
I think the Tigers were a little outnumbered there. Jason appeared to try to get him into another play. You see Marcus McNeil, 2 guys over him, a little bit unsure which one to take care of. But if you zone that out completely, the way Hugh Null probably would like to see it, most of those guys have been taken care of, and Carnell would have pushed that ball out to the outside.
A loss of 5, 2nd and 15 for Auburn at the Indian 38-yard line. Play action in the rollout by Campbell. In some trouble. Campbell still looking to throw it. He's going to tuck and run, and he'll get a couple yards, and that's about all. Good coverage downfield by Louisiana Monroe.
Very good coverage and a smart play by Jason here. This is a play where 2-3 years ago, maybe he tries to force it in. You'll see the play action here. Defensive end stays at home, and that's what you want to try to eliminate with the play action. He comes after, Jason makes it miss, and picks up a few yards. But it's a smart play. Go get out of bounds. Don't take a hit. Don't risk another interception, especially here down close to field goal range.
3rd and 9 for Auburn. The Tigers were 5 of 8 on 3rd down in the first half. A 4-wide set for Auburn. Out of the shotgun, Campbell. With time, he's going deep. Aroma-Shadu, touchdown! 32 yards out. Aroma-Shadu meet Michael Henry, and Jason Campbell put it on the number.
You'll see here on the replay, a great job by Carnell Williams. They showed blitz, they dropped out, only a 3-man rush. Marcus McNeil, some trouble with his man to the outside. Carnell does a nice job with the pickup. Jason steps up in the pocket, makes it go there. You'll see Carnell here. Corner can't stay with him. 6.
Vaughn for the extra point right down the middle. And so Auburn takes its opening drive the distance. The Tigers go 65 yards, the final 32. Jason Campbell to Devin Aroma-Shadu. And Auburn now leads 24-0. Ben Grubbs and that Auburn offensive line gave Jason Campbell some time to throw there. And Devin Aroma-Shadu, his 2nd career touchdown here.
Well, you see Marcus McNeil turns his hips out there. You don't want to do that. That allows his man to get upfield just a tad. Good recovery, and Carnell helps him out. That's a nice throw by Jason. Right there in the corner of the end zone. Gives his man a chance to make a play.
Well, good separation as well by Aroma-Shadu to get by Michael Henry in the end zone for the touchdown. So the Tigers strike first as Shunall talks it over with that offensive line. You see big Marcus McNeil over his left shoulder. Or that's King Dunlap actually over his left shoulder.
He's only going about 6'9", is it?
6'8".
Yeah.
But what's an inch when you're that tall, huh? Auburn 5 plays, 65 yards in a minute 41.
First time I saw King Dunlap at practice, I thought the basketball team had stepped out and we had a new center on campus.
Well, Jeff Lebo might like to have someone like King Dunlap to play basketball because they're looking for some inside help.
He could give it to him.
Yost will kick it off. He's put all but one of his kickoffs today into the end zone. That will be as deep as the others. 6-7 yards deep into the end zone. So with the wind or against the wind, it has been success today for Philip Yost. And that has to give that Auburn coaching staff a little more confidence in its kicking game. Remember the 42-yard field goal by John Vaughn in the first half. Auburn fans join Rod Bramblett and Coach Tommy Tuberville every Sunday for the Auburn Football Review television show. Go to auburntigers.com to find a station in your area or check your local TV listings. From the 20, first down and 10 for Louisiana Monroe. The inside handoff. Denham and nowhere to roam. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Jay Ratliff led the charge for Auburn. Good pursuit to the ball that time on Kevin Payne. And nowhere to run for Payne.
Ratliff just beats his man inside, takes him down the line of scrimmage and makes a play. This is a nice pursuit. You'll see there. Keeps his head across, pursues down the line of scrimmage. Good play.
Ratliff and T.J. Jackson there, and just great pursuit for Auburn there. Stanley McGlover was there as well. 2nd down and 9. They'll give Payne a yard. High snap. Payne right up the middle. Payne about a yard and a half shy of the first down. Devin Sears leading the defensive charge for Auburn, but not before Payne gets 8 yards on the play. He's now a yard shy of the first down.
Just a little simple trap, and you can see Auburn relying heavily on those front four. Linebackers playing deep. McClover needs to step into that pulling guard a little bit more there. Try to close the gap on that, let his linebacker step up early. But the linebackers are playing deep. I'm pretty sure they were thinking pass on that pass.
Under 100 yards total offense for Louisiana Monroe, and it will go backwards on that play. Denham, the backup tailback, loses a yard on the play.
I don't think anybody was thinking pass on that one.
Stanley McGlover and, Cole, Stanley McGlover, Jay Ratliff, that defensive front leading the charge for Auburn.
A loss of 2.
Travis Williams also sticking his nose in there. They lose 2 on the play and will be forced to punt it away. And Monroe right now is 1 of 5, make that 1 of 6 on third downs today. Stelly will punt it away for Louisiana Monroe. Carnell Williams back at the 25-yard line. It's a fake. And it's going to be a first down and more across midfield down to the 45-yard line. One of the upbacks for Louisiana Monroe, Josh Jenkins, backup free safety out of Monroe, Louisiana. He goes 28 yards on a first down.
Well, we spoke earlier, one way to gain an advantage against as being an underdog was special teams. Monroe saw a gap there in the protection by Auburn and took advantage.
The Cadillac was thankful that Carlos Rogers was there to make the stop, and he didn't have to.
Definitely.
Auburn territory at the 46. Giles on the bootleg. And he will get 3 yards before he's run out of bounds by Travis Williams. Williams, of course, played outside linebacker last season with Dontarius Thomas and Carlos Dansby, the other two. But, well, you talk about stepping up to a leadership role. That's what Travis Williams has to do this season.
Definitely, and I think like you mentioned earlier, Andy, he had a very good season last year. He was just a little bit overshadowed.
He had 67 tackles last season, but when guys like DT and Carlos are out there, you tend to be overshadowed at linebacker.
You don't get as many opportunities.
2nd and 7. Giles throws complete to the sideline, and Tarius Williams takes Druzon Quillen out of bounds. Maybe a 2-yard gain on the play, and it will bring up third down for Monroe.
You're not sure, but you have to think that Gene Chizik is perfectly fine giving up these 3- and 4-yard passes. One, they're taking advantage. They're taking advantage of a guy putting into the air almost every play. The interception return could be a possibility. And on the other hand, it's not being too effective. You look for Louisiana Monroe to go deep eventually.
Double tight end set for Monroe. Auburn brings the blitz. The pass is complete but shy of the first down to Vincent Mitchell. Junior Rosegreen was right on Mitchell's hip. It's a gain of maybe a half yard to the 40, and that is all. And now is it fourth down territory. Do you go for it on fourth down? Another look. Rosegreen bringing down Mitchell on the slant route. Good coverage by Junior.
Junior has done a nice job today stepping up from his safety position to really make some good plays, make some nice tackles. He's filled the holes. He's just basically been there, and that's what you like to see out of your safety.
He set up Auburn's first touchdown with a fumble recovery. Fourth down, and Louisiana Monroe was running out of time, and they're forced to burn a timeout. So fourth down and 3. That game clock was down to about 4 by the time Giles got ready. And he called, wisely so, the timeout. So with 9:26 to go in the third, 4th and 3 when we return for Louisiana Monroe. Tigers up 24-0. 9 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Season opener for both Auburn and University of Louisiana Monroe. Tigers up 24-0. A fourth down situation right now for Monroe. And since Louisiana Monroe moved to Division I football, they have never been shut out on opening day. Currently down 24-0 to the Tigers. They've been shut out 12 times in their past, but that was before they were a D1 team.
They're going to have to do more than throw the ball 5 yards down the field in order to get some points against Auburn.
Certainly not saying that this game is over. Far from it, especially if Monroe is able to strike quickly. But Auburn's pass coverage has been very, very good, especially here in the third quarter. The big play for Louisiana Monroe, well, two big plays. One, a draw play to Payne, and the biggest play of the day, I think, offensively for Monroe was the fake punt.
Definitely. You think about Gene Chizik here, and he's comfortable just letting his guys play soft, play off. Obviously, his safeties are stepping up, making some plays. And he probably right now doesn't feel the need to blitz or doesn't feel the need to walk his linebackers up. Play it safe. Make sure you don't give up that big play because they haven't been too effective otherwise.
Gene Chizik, of course, taking over the entire secondary this season, in addition to his coordinator duties defensively. Here's fourth down for Monroe. 16 of 29 on fourth down a year ago. Auburn defensively gave up a first down on fourth down 59% of the time last season. And there may have been movement. Flag is down. They're going to go deep. And the pass is complete. It would be a touchdown, but this, well, actually out of bounds at the 6. This one's coming back. There was movement on the line. That left tackle appeared to be moving for Louisiana Monroe. And now instead of 4th and 3, it will be 4th and 8.
Prior to the snaps, false starts, number 76 of the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now that's Bruce Hampton, the left tackle, and you see he moves just a split second before the snap. And Charlie Weatherby's team will be forced to punt it away here, we think. They faked it once on this drive already.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. That has to hurt.
Carnell Williams stands at the 10 as Joel Stelly gets set to punt it away. And Stelly, nice high punt. Williams will let this one bounce, and it goes into the end zone. Stelly goes 45 yards on the punt. He'd like to have at least one of those yards back. However, he was trying to pin Auburn deep. Instead, it goes into the end zone, and Auburn's offense will be able to start at its own 20-yard line. So after the fake punt, Cole Kublik, Auburn's defense again stiffens and also gets the benefit of a penalty on this breezy season opener here at Jordan Hare Stadium.
Well, they did, and it was a nice pass play there. Will Herring didn't seem to get over in time on the coverage. But thankfully, the young man jumped a little early, and Auburn was the beneficiary of a penalty. But like we said earlier, just basic, keeping it simple, not threatened by Louisiana Monroe's big play potential.
From the 20, 1st and 10 for Auburn. It's the reverse to Courtney Taylor. He's got some room. And Taylor puts his head down out to the 40-yard line. A 20-yard gain for Auburn. Chris Harris makes the stop for Auburn as the Tigers show a little razzle-dazzle here in the third quarter.
Well, and they've shown this about 3 times today and haven't given it. And finally, they decide they're going to let him run one. And I'll tell you, the thing I like about this play, one, you see Ronnie Brown downfield give an effort, but look at Taylor not going out of bounds as a wide receiver. Steps into the defenders, tries to get that extra 2 or 3 yards. A lot of times you'll see that wide out just happily step out of bounds. And Taylor stuck it in there. I like the toughness.
19 yards on the play for a first down. Blitz is coming. Campbell's in trouble. Eludes the blitz and gets rid of the ball. Hey, that's a nice job by Jason Campbell not to take the sack.
Very nice job eluding by Campbell. It looked like they were trying to set up a screen, and usually you want to set up a screen against a blitz to try to get the big play, but sometimes that blitz gets in there a little too fast.
Shuley and Damian Richard came on the blitz.
Actually, no screen there, Andy. It looked like just maybe a breakdown in protection, possibly someone going the wrong way. I thought it looked as though the way Campbell began to drop back, they were going to try to set a screen up, but I was wrong.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Play clock at 5. Hand off to Carnell Williams. And he loses maybe a yard on the play. Good pursuit by Lamont Finley, a senior out of Crowville, Louisiana.
That looked to me a situation here. The defense just takes advantage. An inside linebacker does a good job keeping his pads low against Jake Slaughter. Gets some penetration, shuts down the play. Jason has to understand, when you turn and check to all those offensive linemen and you don't give any indication to your receivers, usually that defense is going to be aware that a run is probably coming one way or the other.
Auburn is 6 of 9 on third down today. Here the Tigers need 9 yards. Campbell, short drop throws, complete. Courtney Taylor will be shy of the first down. Gets a couple yards, but John Winchester had that one well defended. Campbell was backing up as he threw the pass, and not much of an opportunity for Courtney Taylor here. Threw that off the back foot. That was well defended by Winchester and Lamont Finley.
It looked like we had the protection set up the opposite way of the blitz, which in case Jason must get rid of the football. And right there, he just had no other option than to get rid of it. The blitz was picked up, but there's an extra man coming. Cornell released the other way. Ideally, you might want to hit him out of the backfield, but I just don't think he had the time.
Cody Bliss to punt it for Auburn. Charles Estes to receive this punt as Bliss lets this one turn over. What a nice punt, and bounds into the end zone.
Still a great kick.
57 yards on the punt by Cody Bliss. With 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Charlie Weatherby talking over with the officials. And his team will open up 1st and 10 at the 20. 24-0 Auburn leads on opening day. The Tigers, of course, going to Mississippi State next week in the SEC today. Just one game involving 2 schools. South Carolina goes on the road and drills Vanderbilt 31-6. I knew when I picked Vanderbilt that the Commodores were in trouble.
South Carolina has a lot of talent on that team.
Handoff. Payne for 3 or 4 yards, and that's about all. Marquise Gunn assisting on the tackle for Auburn.
Marquise has filled in nicely today. Great penetration down the line.
Gunn had a very good game a week ago or a year ago against Monroe. Forced a fumble and had 4 tackles against the Indians. Second down and 6. Giles being pressured on the play, rolling, looking, throwing, and it's caught at the 28-yard line. What a nice play by Druzon Quillen to come back for that one.
Great play by Quillen to come back to the ball there.
Carabidini was the one to put the pressure on. And it looked for a moment like Auburn was in good position to get an interception here.
Well, it looks like Ontarius Williams is kind of, well, that's Mayo Soul, excuse me, sat back waiting on that interception, and the receiver comes up, attacks the ball, and makes the catch. You got to go get that ball. 3rd
and 1 for Louisiana Monroe. Only successful once today on 3rd down, and 1 out of 7. And Stephen Giles will call the Indians' second time out of the third quarter. 5:33 to go in the third quarter. Tigers on top on opening day against Louisiana Monroe. 24-0 on CSS and the Auburn Network. 24-0 Auburn on top of Louisiana Monroe. 5:33 to go in the third quarter of play. Big third down right now for the Indians. They called the timeout to talk it over on 3rd down and 1 at their own 29.
This is a place where Auburn wants to have these young guys step up and maybe get a stop, build some confidence here. Some of the younger guys are in now. We talked about Gunn and some of the others. You'd love to see one of these guys get in the backfield and make a big hit and kind of propel him into league play next week.
Yeah, Auburn goes on the road to Mississippi State. The Bulldogs later on today playing Tulane in Sylvester Croom's debut as the head coach in Starkville.
I tell you, Andy, not too many people concerned about that game, but you and I talked, and I'm scared.
I guarantee you the Auburn coaches have that one circled just a little bit. That game is, well, I think State's going to be, they're going to be ready for Auburn. Make sure that visiting the AuburnTigers.com website is a part of your daily routine. Newly revamped, including a visitor's guide and photo galleries. It's the official home on the web for Auburn, AuburnTigers.com. Looks like Giles is going to get the first down following the timeout.
Little quarterback sneak, and a lot of times on these short yardage, they've been heading outside, so may have caught Auburn off guard a little bit by heading up the middle there.
So it is a first down for Louisiana Monroe.
Josh Thompson enters the game for T.J. Jackson.
Thompson really had a good preseason practice, stepping up into that number 2 role. Got some time when T.J. Jackson injured his elbow during preseason practices. First and 10. Giles wants to run it. Not a lot of room, and he is tattooed. Carlos Rogers and Karabi Didi among the Auburn Tigers there to make the stop. For everything travelers need, there's the Hilton Garden Inn in Auburn, Opelika, and Montgomery, where every guest room offers complimentary high-speed internet access and secure remote printing to the hotel's 24-hour business center. All Hilton Garden Inn locations feature the Great American Grill restaurant, serving freshly baked breakfast and dinner. Friendly staff looks forward to welcoming you. For more information on the Hilton Garden Inn hotels, visit hiltongardeninn.com. Call 877-STAY-HGI. Second down and 11. Play action going deep. And Will Herring's got an interception. And now pitches it back to Junior Rosegreen, and the flag is down. Rosegreen still on his feet, taken down at midfield. I'm wondering if they're going to say that the lateral was not legal.
It appeared to be backwards to me.
Boy, it sure did to me, unless there's
a clip.
Something else down on the play. Will Herring with an interception here this afternoon.
It's a great job by Quentin Groves, staying at home on the play action, defensive end spot.
We'll get another look after perhaps the call here.
During the return, blocking the back, number 45 of the return team. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So the block in the back as Auburn was returning this one.
See Quentin Groves there staying at home, goes and applies the pressure.
And that was just
a bad pass.
Yeah, just underthrown as Will Herring came up with it. The lateral was legal to Junior Rosegreen. Hey, that's the first incomplete pass of the day. Or non-complete pass, I guess we should say, by Giles. Now 11 and 12 in the afternoon. Take a look at Will Herring, former high school quarterback. Randy Cox in at quarterback now for Auburn. They hand off to Carnell Williams. And Williams gets close to the 35-yard line in a 5-yard gain before John Winchester brings him down. Winchester has been busy this afternoon. Chris Harris helped out.
Stephen Ross into the game for Auburn offensive line at center.
Brandon Cox, second stint at quarterback today. First time he ran it in from 14 yards for the touchdown. Second and 5 for Auburn at its own 35. Again, Carnell Williams now cuts it back across the grain. He's got the first down across the 40 to the 41. Christian Cambridge on the stop, but not before Williams gets the first down for Auburn. And that will be the Tigers' 15th first down of the afternoon.
Stephen Ross enters the game, gets this linebacker cut. Carnell with the cutting it back. Really not much room there. Did what he could. Great job to get a few yards on that play. Had some penetration in the backfield.
Out to the 42-yard line. First down and 10 for Auburn. Again, Carnell Williams. What a move at the line of scrimmage. Williams out to the 49-yard line. Winchester and Delandos Johnson combine on the stop. Talk about breaking a defender's ankles. That's what Carnell does on this play at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he seems he has the ability to stop and start so quickly. You see there, just puts the brakes on and then almost acceleration full speed immediately.
7-yard gain out to the 49-yard line. Cox maybe checking off at the line. The play clock is down to 5. Gives it to Carnell with a hole. Cutting back inside the 50 to the 47-yard line. That should be enough, or close to another Auburn first down. Looks like he has enough for the first down. Homer Burdine out of Garland, Texas, makes the stop for Louisiana Monroe.
I'll tell you, they're definitely making Carnell earn his yardage today. Not getting a whole lot of help up front. Hasn't been too many gaping holes like we have seen for him in the past, but he's making do with what he has and continues to gain positive yards.
Auburn with 16 first downs in the afternoon to Louisiana Monroe 7. Play action. Cox rolls, looking, throwing, incomplete, intended for Courtney Taylor. He was looking initially long, I think, to Ben Obamanu, who was pretty well covered on the play. Shelton Williams knocked that one down.
You'll see here as he comes off the play action, it looks like right about there he considers throwing the ball away. Youngster, he wants to get in and complete a few passes. You can't really blame him, but I'll say against a Florida or an LSU or a Mississippi State, you might not want to make that throw. It could be going the other way.
Second down and 10 for Auburn at the Indian 46-yard line. Williams taken down. Nice ankle tackle at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Maynard Johnny.
And there was one of the holes we were talking about. He hasn't seen it. I think Carnell had the big eyes as he came through that hole, because it looked like he was going to gain some nice yardage, but just barely tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
So Williams gets a break as Ronnie Brown steps in for the Tigers at tailback. And he talks it over with Eddie Grand as Carnell on the sidelines. 3rd and 7. Auburn 6 of 10 on 3rd down today. Cox to throw it. Pressured. Throws. He's got a man. It's complete. That's Courtney Taylor. First down to the 30.
It's a great catch by Taylor to come back, make the catch, and avoid the hit soon after he made the catch.
He knew there was going to be some contact there, Cole, but he was patient and made the catch. It's a good point.
Slide protection there. Ronnie Brown usually is going to have that outside man there. He might have come too far inside. A great pickup by Taylor. He makes a lot of those yards on his own. And a good job of Cox staying in the pocket and getting rid of that ball with some nice zip on it as well.
Auburn now 7 of 11 on 3rd down this afternoon. At the 30, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ronnie Brown on the carry. Ronnie Brown in the clear. One man to beat. Ronnie Brown, touchdown. 40 yards. Ronnie Brown. Shelton Williams had the only crack against Ronnie Brown, and I thought he had an angle, but Brown ran past it.
We'll see here on the replay, we talked about Ronnie Brown's shiftiness. He takes that ball outside. It looks like he's going to continue right off tackle here, and you'll see him just kind of stutter step and take it right back inside there. It's a great job cut. Cooper Wallace with a nice kick-out block. Ronnie Brown just makes it happen.
He had 5 touchdowns a year ago, and he gets his first here this afternoon. And the Tigers have busted this one open as Vaughn is on to attempt the extra point. Snap down, and the kick is up and good. The holder this year, Sam Reeves. Pete Compton, who was Vaughn's snapper at Brentwood Academy in Nashville in high school, is now the new Auburn snapper. And another look at Ronnie Brown.
You know, Andy, sometimes these zone plays take a little bit longer to develop than you intend for them to. Carnell is a guy that's going to hit that hole initially very fast. Ronnie, we talked about earlier, he's got that little stutter step. And this might be a situation where this defense, the way they're playing the zone plays, Ronnie Brown's a little better suited, because he really made it happen on that one. It looked good.
And Brown showing some speed as well to the end zone from 30 yards out. And now 31-0 Auburn, as the Tigers have struck twice here in this 3rd quarter. 8 plays, 70 yards, and an efficient drive, 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
Another quality drive by Brandon Cox as well, managing the offense. He had the one throw in traffic that he'd probably like to have back. Maybe you want to see him just put that over here in the stands as he's rolling out, but very successful drive by Brandon Cox.
2 for 2 today on drives that Brandon has been in. Joseph Barrett, Charles Estes deep to receive this kickoff from Philip Yost, who's been terrific on Auburn kickoffs kickoffs here this afternoon. All but one have not been returned. This one, however, will be returned from the 4. This is Estes. A flag is down across the field as Estes gets out close to the 40-yard line, but in all likelihood, this one's coming back. The flag was thrown all the way across the field back at the 18-yard line. Good return by Estes, who averaged over 27 yards a kickoff return last season, setting the record at Louisiana Monroe.
During the return, block in the back, number 85 of the return team. Penalty marked off half the distance to the goal. First down.
You can see the flags pick up with the wind as well, Andy, on that last kick.
Estes trying to get to the there's the block in the back. What happened right in the middle of the field. Not much question about it. So Louisiana Monroe, instead of opening up at its own 40, opens up inside its own 10. Right now, Auburn is almost 7 yards per play. Monroe under 4 yards per play. Movement on the Auburn line. And there's going to be a penalty on the Tigers. Quentin Groves, I think, jumped offside by the Tigers.
There's a flag.
Most of the penalties today have been of this 5-yard variety. But they'll mark 5 yards against the Tigers here.
Offsides, number 54 of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Penalty yards on the day. Monroe 4 for 55 yards. Auburn 5 for 44. Here go Auburn. Pretty good job against penalties. So 1st and 5 now for Louisiana Monroe. Giles under center. The roll and throw. It is complete. Out here to Jeremy Hammock, backup tight end, close to the first down. This will be interesting to see. Eric Brock made the stop. Again, good pressure up front by Auburn.
Brock obviously filling in for Junior Rosegreen. This is the same play they've run a few times today. Rosegreen filled it up nicely earlier in the game, and now Brock comes in to fill it up as well.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Tigers add to their lead. 31-0 as we go to the 4th quarter on CSS and the Auburn Network. Auburn with a couple touchdowns in the 3rd quarter to add to its lead. Now 31-0. The Tigers are on top. Colt Kulik, Andy Burchett with you from Jordan Hare Stadium on opening day. I'll tell you, when I looked at that schedule and saw a 1:30 kickoff for September 4th, I thought it was going to be a steamy day as they retape the ankle looks like of Ronnie Brown. I think we've been pretty fortunate weather-wise here this afternoon. Maybe not so much so when Auburn goes to Mississippi State next Saturday for an 11:30 kickoff.
Probably not. Those 11:30 games were usually quite miserable. As miserable as playing in a game could be, that's your ultimate reward, obviously. But this is a beautiful day. Wonderful, slight breeze, a little bit overcast, low humidity. Just a perfect day for football. Obviously, you say perfect day for an offensive lineman. I'd like it to be about
50.
Yeah. A little rain, slight drizzle, slow those defensive linemen down, maybe some wind.
The weather of the game when you played at Alabama your senior year?
That would be about right.
Okay.
That was perfect.
That was an offensive lineman's day. All right.
Beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa didn't hurt either.
Absolutely. And Auburn goes to Tuscaloosa this year. Final game of the regular season.
Trying to stay undefeated in Tuscaloosa.
15 minutes remaining in this one. Auburn on top, 31-0. Alabama, of course, playing Utah State in the season opener in Tuscaloosa today. And in the last 21 years, you see an Auburn team score 30 or more and almost every time successful. 96-2 when scoring 30 or more in a game.
2nd and 1 at the 19.
Auburn up 31-0, opening the 3rd quarter. Giles out of the shotgun. Pump fake and going deep down the sideline. The pass is out of bounds and a flag down. This will be interference on Auburn. Interference, I think, over there on Zach Gilbert.
Well, Monroe definitely has the mismatch in terms of height on this play, receiver versus defensive back, but you wonder why it took him so long to try deep.
Yeah, most of the passing variety have been of the short variety here this afternoon, and it is interference against Auburn. Another look down the sideline. Gilbert working on Quinlan, and the push right there at the end.
Number 38 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Quinlan is 6'6". Gilbert is 5'10".
That's a bit of a mismatch.
And Zach used that push to get Quinlan out of bounds.
Usually, when those refs see the hands go up, you're probably going to get a flag.
First down to the 34 on the penalty by Auburn. Giles checking off at the line. And a handoff up the middle. This one goes to Calvin Dawson. Kevis Burnham makes the stop for Auburn. Burnham 6'2", 236, junior out of Montezuma, Georgia.
More subs check in for Auburn. Andy, Andrew Letts, outside linebacker, and Patrick Lee, defensive back.
2nd and 6 at the 38.
Tony Bell steps into the game.
We've seen Bell play well on special teams for the Tigers this afternoon. Back at free safety. 2nd down and 6. Again, Dawson on the carry. Dawson puts his head down and gets the first down. He ran right by Quentin Groves in the backfield and gets 7 or 8 on the play. Carabididi on the stop. As you see, Groves got back in position to get in on the tackle.
When you can't question the effort here by Quentin Groves, you see he is a little too far upfield. Got to keep those hips square. He should know he has contained there. He's got to step back out and grab that, but the back made a good cut. He's in there. He's a youngster. He's playing hard, trying to make a few plays.
He limps off the field, does Groves.
McClover checks back in for him.
1st and 10 from the 46 for Louisiana Monroe. Shows blitz and brings the blitz. Quick throw for 7 yards across the 50-yard line to the 49. Pass to Vincent Mitchell.
Monroe does a nice job of picking up the blitz here.
Actually through the same side of the field in which the blitz came. Another look. 5 yards on the gain for Louisiana Monroe.
You just have to think, Andy, down 31-0, 4th quarter. The deep balls have to get going sooner or later.
Saw Groves trying to warm up, loosen up that leg on the sideline there. Play action. Quick throw across the middle, no one there. I think actually overthrew the intended receiver, Charles Estes. And I'm not sure Estes knew that ball was coming. 3rd down and 5 now for Louisiana Monroe. The Indians are 2 of 8 on 3rd down today. From the Auburn 49. Merritt in motion as Giles drops the pass. He throws across the middle, incomplete. Larry Davenport had the ball for a moment. Kevis Burnham separated him from the football as Stanley McGlover put pressure on Giles.
It's a great play by Burnham. See a nice pass rush here. McGlover gets his man inside. Just can't hold on. Gets there just in time to knock that ball away.
Burnham lowering the boom, and Davenport can't hang on.
Number 85, Silas Daniels.
Stelly to punt it away. Silas Daniels. And Stelly gets it away after a high snap, and Stelly booms it into the end zone for a 49-yard punt. How many times times have you seen a punter have to rush the kick after a bad snap and hits it 49, 50 yards? A lot of times you'll see those long kicks. 31-0. Auburn leads at 12:41 to go in the third quarter at Jordan Hare Stadium. 12 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Andy Bertrand, Cole Kublik with you from Jordan Hare Stadium, opening day for the 2004 season, as Auburn looks for its 86th season opening victory. Matter of fact, Auburn's 85 season opening victories tied with Alabama and Arkansas for the best among the 12 Southeastern Conference schools. Of course, Arkansas getting a bulk of those, and they were a member of the Southwest Conference. But Auburn looking for its 86th opening day victory here this afternoon, and seemingly on their way with a 31-0 lead with 12:41 to go in the fourth.
Looks like we'll see Jason Campbell at quarterback again for Auburn. I wonder how much more time he will see. How much more time Ronnie Brown and Cornell will see as well.
Auburn fans tune into the Auburn Network every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central for Tiger Talk. Auburn coaches, including Tommy Tuberville, will take your calls along with the voice of the Tigers, Rod Bramlett. That's Tiger Talk every Thursday night at 7. Go to auburntigers.com for a complete list of your local affiliates. On the front row, enjoying the action here this afternoon. First and 10 from the 20. Campbell in, the handoff to Carnell. Williams out for 5 yards to the 25. And Williams getting close to the century mark here this afternoon. Alneco Shine out of Jonesboro, Louisiana on the stop.
These are the plays that seem to be better suited for Cornell Williams. A straight ahead, burst type running plays up the middle.
Second down and 5 for the Tigers. Williams unofficially 98 yards right now on 21 carries today. Chance to go over 100 yards. And he will do it right there. Across the 30 out to the 31-yard line for Carnell Williams, and that will put him above the century mark here this afternoon. Jason Shuley on the stop. As Carnell has scored Auburn's first touchdown today on a reception. Goes over the century mark for the 12th time in his career. 22 carries for 103 yards this afternoon for Cadillac.
And Andy, you get that sense that the coaches just want to let him break that one big run, the one big gainer. Hasn't had that opportunity yet.
From the 31, first and 10 for Auburn. Williams buried at the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard. Guillory on the stop. Defensive end out of New Orleans, Abramson High School. Mention Auburn, of course, on the road next weekend at Mississippi State. This Louisiana Monroe team takes a weekend off and goes to Arkansas in 2 weeks. I believe that game will be played in Little Rock. Blitz is on. Campbell short drop. Throws. Obamato's got it. Breaks a tackle but can't keep his balance. He's taken down at the 36-yard line. Boy, if Obamato breaks that tackle, he's off to the races. Chaz Williams out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, makes the stop.
He had some green, and here you can see Jason just freezing the linebackers with a bit of play action. Slings it outside, almost breaks that tackle.
Ben was really strong for Auburn down the stretch a year ago. 3rd and 5 for Auburn. The Tigers 7 of 11 on 3rd down. Ronnie Brown across the 40. He's got the first down, and Auburn is now 8 of 12 on 3rd down today.
Big King Dunlap with the pull there.
Sean Maynard on the stop.
He put the brakes on just enough to turn around and get the block on that linebacker that was pursuing. Helped Ronnie get out there and get a few more yards. You like to see those big men pull around like that.
Into the game for Auburn. A tailback is Carl Stewart, redshirt freshman from Alcoa, Tennessee. Ran for over 1,500 yards, 26 touchdowns as a senior. He checks in as the up back with Ronnie Brown at tailback. The play action, Campbell in some trouble. Ball is down. It's loose. And Louisiana Monroe's going to get it. Jason Campbell got blindsided. Josh Alexander came up with the ball, but Campbell got drilled from behind. There's not much of an opportunity there for the quarterback.
No, not much of an opportunity, and that's one quirk with the West Coast. You'll see when you go and you take this rollout right now, you have to get rid of that ball. Now, if it's a straight drop back pass, you might have time to check one, check two, and check that third receiver. But when you go to this rollout, there's so much pursuit due to the play action. So many guys are up to the line of scrimmage looking to stop the run, looking to come after the run.
Sean Maynard was the one that put the pressure and put the hit on Campbell. 2 turnovers apiece now for Auburn and Louisiana Monroe. At the 30, 1st and 10 for the Indians. Giles will tuck it and keep it himself. Ball's loose. Auburn's going to get it right back. How about that? How about that? Giles coughed it up. We'll wait and make sure. Is it Stanley McGlover with the fumble recovery?
Tony Bell.
Tony Bell gets off the bottom of the pile. He may have taken it away from Stanley McGlover. They were both fighting for it, and Auburn gets the ball back. Good first game for Tony Bell. Georgia, wow, only up 13-7 at the half against Georgia Southern, of course, one of the dominant 1AA football teams in the country.
You know, Georgia Southern had a lot of guys returning this year.
Ooh. Can't think the folks in Athens are happy up 13-7 right now. Randy Cox in at quarterback, and the handoff goes to the second man through for the Tigers.
Number 28.
Brad Lester on the carry. Lester, freshman tailback out of Wilburn, Georgia. Maybe getting some action today because Trey Smith not playing because of a bad shoulder. Second down and 5 for Auburn at the 29. Auburn's running out of time as Cox gets the ball to Lester, bounces it to the outside, and he'll lose a couple yards. Sean Maynard came up to make the stop. John Winchester helped out. So third down now for Auburn, and the Tigers will need 7. As the clock counts down to 8.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
The youngsters for Auburn continue to come in. Lead guest Jamoga Ramsey
at the receiver spots. Cox will work out of the shotgun. An end over end snap. Pumps it, throws it near side. Lots of room to run for Carl Stewart. He's got the first down. Stewart out of bounds around midfield. First down for Auburn. Boy, well executed. Chris Harris makes the stop.
Very well executed. Carl Stewart just takes his screen pass and goes. Offensive linemen were a little late getting out. You'll see here, sets it up nicely. He's out in front of his lineman, but still gets out there and goes for some big yardage. Just nice, once again, not going out of bounds, fights for the tough extra few yards. You have to like to see that out of the youngster.
24 yards on the screen pass for the first down for Auburn at the Monroe 49-yard line. Hand off again to Brad Lester.
Number 28, Brad Lester at the right guard.
Not much over the middle there for Auburn. Stephen Ross, the center. Looks like they had some trouble with the double team.
Orlando's Johnson lumbering off the field. Second down and 9 for Auburn at the 48. Jamoga Ramsey to the top of your screen. Lee Guest to the bottom of your screen, the wide receivers for Auburn. And the pitch to the near sideline and out of bounds to the 45-yard line. The Auburn tailback, Gerald Watson. Watson out of Morgan City, Louisiana. Jason Shuley on the stop. Watson, interesting story, a guy that LSU thought it had wrapped up, and then he let it be known that he thought he would go high enough in the baseball draft and was, I believe, injured, and LSU backed off, and Watson signed with Auburn, and there is some talk that he may give baseball a try here. And I'm sure Tommy Slater, the Auburn new baseball coach, would welcome that.
I'm sure he would.
3rd and 6. Cox throws. Guess had it and dropped it. He has the first down, and a flag goes across the field. A little bit of an altercation over there, and Octavius Balcom, I think, excuse me, Maurice Anderson may be called for a personal foul penalty. Damian Richard defending on the play. But there was some pushing and shoving going on in front of the Louisiana Monroe bench. And the Auburn player involved was Maurice Anderson.
Brandon Cox with the 2-step drop, 3-step drop here, just delivers a nice ball in traffic. Lee Guest had the guy on him. Tough catch, but wasn't able to hold on. I was impressed with Lee Guest in the spring game. Showed some real toughness.
The play is ruled an incomplete pass. Following the play, personal foul, number 84 of the offense. Personal foul on the defense. Those penalties offset. 4th down.
Fourth and 6 at the 45. Number 30.
So Auburn will punt it away after all of that. Cody Bliss to punt it. Bliss has punted twice, an average of 50 yards here this afternoon. Down the side, or down the middle of the field. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line.
Ball made by number 7, Michael Henry.
Michael Henry coming up to take that one in. 30-yard punt by Bliss.
29-yard kick for Cody Bliss. 1st and 10, 16.
7:04 to go in the 4th. And Auburn on top 31-0. Final 7 minutes and 4 seconds on opening day at Jordan Hare Stadium, and the Tigers have methodically pulled away from Louisiana Monroe. Auburn up by a score of 31-0. On what has been a rather breezy afternoon here today. You see the aluminum foil looking apparatus that was on the back of the seat there. Take a look. It's a new item that has been formed, and it's shredded pieces of aluminum foil that are melded together somehow. And they use that to extract, they use that as a heat deterrent. It reflects the heat, and we're told, we've seen some of the players wearing it in practice, that it does a good job of keeping the heat away. 381 yards for Auburn here this afternoon. And the movement on the line of scrimmage by Louisiana Monroe. Bruce Hampton, again, with some early movement.
Dead ball, false start, number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
First down and 15 now from the Louisiana Monroe 11. And the Indians trying to do something, trying to avoid what has never happened in the history of Louisiana Monroe football. That's, as a Division I team, he's shut out on opening day. And a pass across the middle that is complete.
Now pass complete to Jason Bell.
Tony Bell on the stop for Auburn.
A couple other new faces in the game. You can see the play over the middle. Just a basic slant route by the slot receiver. He had good time and just completes the pass. Neil Brown, Christopher Browder checking into the game, along with Todd Hughes.
From the 32, first down for Louisiana Monroe. Giles to throw. With some time throws and incomplete. Trying to get it to Joey Trappy, the tight end across the middle. Steve Gandy among those defending on the play for Auburn. For everything travelers need, there's the Hilton Garden Inn in Auburn, Opelika, and Montgomery, where every guest room offers complimentary high-speed internet access and secure remote printing to the hotel's 24-hour business center. All Hilton Garden Inn locations feature the Great American Grill restaurant, serving freshly made breakfast and dinner. Friendly staff looks forward to welcoming you. For more information on Hilton Garden Inn hotels, visit hiltongardeninn.com or call 877-STAY-HGI. Back to action. Payne in the clear. Foot race down the sideline. Payne taken out of bounds at the 34-yard line on the play. Steve Gandy made the stop for Auburn.
Nice run by Payne. You'll see Andrew Letts here. The outside linebacker is going to take a quick step up. Probably wanted to come out. Just needed a little bit better angle there. And a nice run down the sidelines.
Gandy takes him out of bounds at the Auburn 34. A 34-yard run for Payne. 11 carries for 53 yards on the afternoon for Kevin Payne, who averaged over 80 yards a game last year. Tries to get to the sideline to cut it up and cannot do so. Tony Bell ran him out of bounds with some help from Andrew Letts. And the clock stops with 6 minutes and 18 seconds remaining.
Just another draw off tackle there from Monroe. Play we've seen almost all day. Tony Bell steps up. A lot of the youngsters now able to get some of that quality playing time for Auburn that you're going to need a lot further down the road.
2nd and 5 at the 29. Giles to throw, does. It is complete.
Nice catch.
Druzon Quillen. His defender Letts had fallen down. Quillen with the catch and about a yard shy of the first down.
I'll tell you, Mason Denham, tailback from Monroe as well, stepped up and had a nice block picking up the blitz. You'll see him to the right here off the screen.
So third and 1 now for Louisiana Monroe. The Indians are 2 of 9 on 3rd down today. The handoff goes to Denham. He dives forward. He'll be close to the first down.
Andrew Letts came in on the blitz. Nice play there. Pursuing down the line of scrimmage. And a piece of that tackle.
Well, I thought when they marked it, he had the first down. I'm not so sure now. It's 4th down. He's short.
No gain on the play. 4th and 1.
Of course, they'll go for it here.
Absolutely. What do you have to lose now? 5-11 and counting. Remaining. It's 4th and just a half yard. And they'll get the first down with relative ease. Giles just following his center, Hayden Wadsworth, for the first down. Pat Sims on the stop for Auburn.
First and 10 at the 22.
So 22-yard line is where Louisiana Monroe will scrimmage from. First down and 10. 7 plays and 62 yards on this drive for the Indians. Giles floats it out to Payne. Cuts up field at the 20. Flag is down. Giles inside the 15.
Kevin Payne. There's a flag.
Gandy on the stop against Kevin Payne.
Nice swing pass here by Monroe. Just a little bit of a different way to get Payne out in the open field, but when the flag comes flying, it doesn't really matter.
Holding on the offense, number 84. It's a 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
So Louisiana Monroe team is certainly more dangerous with Stephen Giles at the quarterback spot. He did not play a year ago here at Auburn. Had a death in the family and did not make the trip. Certainly a better team with him. 6 penalties apiece now in this game for the two teams. From the 28, first down and 16. Giles, quick drop, throws, that was deflected. Andrew Letts came up to deflect that one. Letts came on the blitz and knocked it down.
Big Pat Sims checks in for the Auburn defense. You see coming on the blitz. Good job of getting your hands up. Deflects the pass.
Sims replacing Tez Doolittle on that defensive line for Auburn. There's Andrew Letts. Second and 16. Inside handoff, Denham down to the 30, down to the 26. Letts again on the stop for Auburn.
Seemed to be some blue jerseys tugged around on that last play.
Yep.
Third and 14 at 26.
Third down for Louisiana Monroe, and this has been a tough part of the offense today for the Indians. 2 of 10 on third down today. Giles to throw, looks, throws, he had a man open and it's incomplete. Overthrew Charles Estes, who had a step on his defender. Davis Burnham with some good pressure that time on Giles.
Christopher Browder also providing some pressure from the defensive end spot. It's a good job. You know, that basically they're going to run base defense here, and they're going to let them go out and try to make plays. They're going to say, you know, third and long, you go out and you try to get yourself a sack. Have your name called out on television.
Reagan Walters on to attempt the field goal. He missed from 29 yards earlier today. And this is from 44. On the way, but it's going to be short. Wow, that wasn't close.
They've struggled in the special teams department.
3:18 to go. The shutout is still alive for Auburn. Tigers on top of the Indians on opening day, 31-0 on CSS and the Auburn Network.
Well, Andy, as we come back here, the offense takes the field. I'm interested to get your opinion on the overall assessment of this offense as we enter the last 3 minutes of the game.
I think there have been some high spots. I think the running game has been pretty solid for Auburn today. There have been some times where the passing game hasn't quite been there. I think both quarterbacks have performed well today. I think Auburn has to feel good, especially about its backup spot. I think Brandon Cox has been very solid for Auburn here this afternoon. Jason Campbell has played well. You look at the comparison on the day. Campbell 11 of 18 for 110 yards, a couple touchdowns. Brandon Cox 3 of 5 for 76 yards. And Auburn has been able to get its second string offensive lineman in there as well. I know that Cunall wanted to be able to play a lot of his linemen here this afternoon.
And it looks like he has. It looks like some of the third stringers. I know Rich Trucks and the guys are going to check it now. And it goes back to the old adage, how much do you want to show before you go over to Starkville and play Mississippi State? And I always think there's a flip side to that argument. You don't want to show too much because you don't want to show your hand. But then again, you want to give them a lot to prepare for. And I think we've done that with multiple formations in this new offense.
I think the two-back system has worked well for Auburn here this afternoon.
Number 28, Brad Lester.
Brad Lester on the carry for Auburn there, especially Ronnie Brown and Carnell Williams. I think they have to be pleased with the way those two worked in the backfield today. And Ronnie Brown has shown pretty good ability to be a lead blocker. And then when he's been given the opportunity to run, he's done that well too.
Ronnie Brown has had a very productive game, and a lot of it won't show up on the stat sheet, but he has been very productive.
103 yards for Carnell, 7 carries, and 55 yards and a touchdown for Ronnie Brown. Again, Brad Lester. And he is taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Lester at the tackle.
Well, 78 Rich Trucks with the pancake on that play. And coming in at right tackle.
Josh Alexander on the stop for Louisiana Monroe. The Indians have the weekend off. They go to Arkansas in 2 weeks. Auburn, of course, on the road in its SEC opener against Mississippi State in Starkville. A week from today at 11:30. Auburn Network radio coverage bright and early at 9:30 from Starkville, Mississippi. Approaching the 2-minute mark in this one. Cox with time. He unloads it deep. And incomplete. Pass was intended for Maurice Anderson.
Pretty good coverage by Jared James there in the secondary from Monroe. Cox just maybe underthrowed that a little bit. Might want to take him over to the sideline with that pass a little bit more, but he had time. Good job by 72 Leon Hart, the freshman, again in pass protection, and just didn't go. But I'll tell you what I do like is to see this first game for Auburn coming out, taking some chances deep, throwing that deep ball, trying to shake up the secondary on the opposition a little bit. That's something I know people were disappointed with last season.
Cody Bliss to punt it away for Auburn. And he hits another booming punt. All the way to the 20-yard line. And out of bounds at the 35-yard line after a 55-yard punt by Cody Bliss. The return by Mason Denham. And Tarius Williams there to make the stop for Auburn. Saw Auburn's schedule back home in 2 weeks to host LSU, defending national champion, and then the Citadel before on the road to Tennessee. It's a tough road year for Auburn. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, on the road at Alabama, at Tennessee this season. From the 36 and movement on the line.
Not many pancake road games in the Southeastern Conference.
Not anymore.
Dead ball, false start, number 64 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Joey Zimmer, the guilty party.
15 at the 31.
I'll tell you one group that has impressed me thus far, Andy, is the Auburn linebacking core. Ontarius Williams, Travis Williams, Derek Graves, some of the younger guys have really come out and made some good plays and had a solid game.
Back at quarterback now in Jesse Blair for Louisiana Monroe. The handoff.
Number 30, Alvin Dawson carries.
Dawson with the carry. Christopher Browder on the stop for Auburn. Auburn balanced today offensively, to be sure. 194 yards rushing, 186 yards passing this afternoon. And I believe touchdowns, 2 running and 2 passing. So balance across the board. 2nd and 14 for the Indians. Dawson taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run that time for Dawson. Taken down on the play by Pat Sims.
Pat Sims beats his man inside in the draw play. You see him just come across there. Nice job. It's one thing you usually don't have to worry about the young guys coming in. They might not go the right way or they might not cover the right guy, but you can usually bet they're going to go full speed.
There's going to be effort.
Without a doubt.
3rd and 16 for the Indians at the 30. Final 20 seconds of this game. So Auburn will win its 86th season opener here this afternoon. In all likelihood, the final play of this game as Auburn brings the blitz. And the pass is complete and down. And that will be the final play of the game, I think. Did they stop the clock?
I think they stopped it. Nope.
Now they start it, and this one's over. Tommy Tuberville's 10th season as a head coach in the SEC gets off on the right foot. His 6th season here at Auburn. And the Tigers win it by a score of 31-0 this afternoon over Louisiana Monroe. And now get ready for a trip to Mississippi State and Sylvester Croom's Bulldogs. Good opening day for Auburn here this afternoon. Didn't appear to be any serious injuries of any kind that we could tell. And now Auburn gets ready for its SEC opener on the road at Mississippi State on Saturday at 11:30. Thanks to all of our crew here with CSS, all the folks behind the cameras, behind the scenes. For my partner at Colt Kublik, Andy Bertram saying so long, and War Eagle from Jordan Hare Stadium, the final 31-0 Auburn over Louisiana Monroe.